Okay.
Perfect.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. So today we're continuing our Seven Swords campaign in the Horrorbane. We're in the setting, the Duchy of Valinor, and let's rock and roll. So previously on Horrorbane. My name is Father Xavier. I sought your help because I have learned that you're each exceptional in your areas of expertise. Crystal Mirror of Acheron turned out to be a demonic artifact of Scribe. Duke Aemon has it, and I suspect it's controlling it. Bring Horrorbane and its bearer, Sir Tyrell, the older brother of the Duke. Traitors, die! Run! Confess your sins! Ah! You thought you'd escape from through the crypts, did you? Well, middle fingers Thaddeus says, "Ah, damn you, naked pigs! We're the seven dwarves of Snowblood. You shall not escape our wrath. Ah, it's a treant! Ah! My name is Mossberg. People call me Mossberg, and I'll help you get to where you're going." And he opens the portal. So today we see our adventurers coming out of the edges of Longmoor Woods into the town of Herrings home. And beginning from the left, we'll have the characters introduce themselves, starting with Daniel.
I'm playing the naked Pict. He's naked and a Pict and not very smart, but he kills stuff.
Okay. Rush couldn't make it to this game, so Daniel will also be playing Rush's character, Tig, the thief. He's a thief, and he keeps it to the shadows. We move on to Crystal, the Tangler. Go ahead, Crystal.
Hailing from the city of Vildor, weighing 150 pounds at 4 foot tall, it's Faron the Tangler Mountain Belt.
Tangler.
Yep, Gladiator Dwarf. Enough said.
So we move on to Tony's character, the Druid.
Yes, with a much quieter introduction that morning is this new little village that they've come to. He's sitting out under a tree there at the edge of the village. And he's holding what appears to be his wooden staff, but if you look at it closer, it's got a spearhead in the top of it. And he's sitting there listening to the birds and things, and he hears the loud, gruff voice of the dwarf as he's waking up and moving about that morning. Oh, well, another day. Be glad when we solve this and resolve this and things so I can return to the woods where I feel more peace and harmony. I'm playing Arlen of Dabblehead, a human druid.
Okay, so it's morning time because the party has been traveling throughout the night, and they have finally arrived at the boring old fishing village of Herrings home. In the eastern edge of the town, next to the gates, if you could call it that, is a rundown inn. It's a 2-story building with a wooden door, and there are a couple people going in and out, but it doesn't seem like it's packed or anything. As you look down the street, you see a well in the middle of the town, and you could make out the symbols, or the holy symbols of Temple of High Gods, towards the middle of the town. And across the western edge of the town, you see the blue waters of Lonesome Cove, or it's actually the ocean path that will eventually lead to Lonesome Cove, where Sir Tyrell is said to live. Okay. So what would you like to do?
Is this the place with the gnomes and the hot air balloons?
Yeah,
Okay.
on the northwestern corner of the town is a place called Gnomish fish, and you see a large balloon shaped like a fish over the on top of the shop. You could look around. You could ask the locals about the whereabouts of individual stores. I'm sure there are some shops nearby as well. So you're free to look around and explore.
Arlen has seen the Tangler come out, finally stands up and approaches the dwarf, and he starts stroking this very big, thick, nice beard that he has himself, and he goes, I think we're supposed to try to find some type of transportation to go to the island. You know, we had that other party member, was going to talk to some fishermen or something, wasn't he? Have you seen him this morning?
I'm betting that little scurry rat just scurried on out of here. He just ain't man enough to handle the challenge.
Oh, it could be. I just don't know.
So the naked pick is, he's not naked right now. He's got a kilt on, and he comes to the rest of the party. Little man, leave.
Well, looks like it's up to us to find a boat and head on out to the nearest island that we got to get to.
Well, the other person, we had made a deal with a boatsman to take us over there for a certain amount, and I bet he left town with money then. But sometimes greed just takes people in ways that they shouldn't go. But I agree, dwarf. We have to find some way over to the island to obtain what we need to do.
Well, sitting around at this tavern ain't getting us nowhere. Let's get going.
So do you guys leave the inn? I mean, I totally forgot about the fact that you've already talked to the captain last time because we're kind of rushing things towards the end of the campaign. But thanks for reminding me. I think you would have made an arrangement where you were expected back at the Bayhab's fishing charter. It's along the shore, and the time of your meeting should have been sometime in the morning, probably around 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that. So do you all head to the Bayhab's fishing charter? Do you purchase anything, stop by the temple, or do you do any exploration around the town, or do you go straight to the fishing charter?
Arlen would go straight to the charter and make contact and inquire if, since him and the rogue had went and made the deal, he inquires of the charter captain if he had seen the other party member.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll all just head over there immediately. I mean, we did shopping and stuff in this village last time, so as far as I know, we're all ready to go.
I mean, out of character, because my character has 3 intelligence, so we wouldn't know this, but I think that they were suggesting that we get some kind of water-breathing potions, but I don't think we actually bought those. That was highly recommended to us by the gnomes.
Okay.
So, I mean, we could say that we bought them. That was what was kind of going on when we shut it down last time.
Yeah, we can just say that we bought them. That's fine.
Okay.
If that's okay.
That's good.
So we did that, because I know the guy was trying to get myself and Rush to buy them, and he was making a deal. But
okay.
I wasn't making a deal on that for intelligence. So I pulled them out and showed them to the party, and I say, good magic. And I hand them out.
Excellent. So Captain Bayhab looks at you and says, well, fellas, you're all ready to go across the little channel here?
Yes.
Well then, you've all had some experience in rowing a boat, haven't you?
My life has been lived in the
Row
forest.
the boat gently down the stream.
Well,
Merrily, 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 merrily.
the longboat that I have, I normally don't operate it myself. I usually have the townsfolk row it for me. I'm what's called a coxswain. I basically sit in front of the boat, and I tell you to row. Everybody's good with that, correct?
Are there any, like...
Sounds like my manager.
Well then, everybody, let's get to the boat. So
are there
you
any
guys...
kind of, like, townsfolk around that look kind of, like, easily intimidated by a naked man that's very strong?
Yeah, I mean, there are some children playing...
Not kids.
And then they look at you and they all run away, you know, giggling and stuff like that. And you see some ladies covering their mouths and whispering to one another and giggling and going away. Some of these folks are giving you the eye. It's like, hey, what is that guy doing without with such shabby clothes? And you see a couple of burly guys. They look like fishermen that know their way around the waters.
So I want to go to them, and I'm going to say to them, you row boat?
Row boat? Well, we're fishermen, so we better know how to row the boat. And then they... Yeah.
I then point at the boat that we're going in.
So I see that you have a rowboat. You want something? And then the tall guy with the bearded tall guy bends over and looks at you. And he squints his eyes and say, well, fella, tell me something. What do you want?
You row boat. And then I'm going to open up my little pouch with some coins in it, and I'll show them some gold.
Well, you know what language we speak out here in Herrings' home. Oops, sorry.
Okay. So I'm going to basically hire them to row the boat, probably for too much money because I can't really count.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the fella comes along.
Yeah, I just hold the pouch like out open, like for them to take the coins that they need to take.
Yeah, I mean, he sees a lot.
While he's doing that, I want to do something with the captain before we get in the boat.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, as the Pict is going and talking to these people, and I don't really know what he's doing, you know, I'm going to walk up to the captain and put my arm on his shoulder, and I'm going to look him straight in the eye, and I'm going to go, good captain, you seem to be a very proper businessman and a very a good person from what I can gather from you. So I believe that the agreement was that you would help us as much as you could. I'm casting Charm Person on him, so he needs to make a saving throw.
Nice.
Okay. He fails.
All right, then. He can row the boat, too.
Okay. All right. So everybody gets on the boat, and the coxswain walks over to the head of the boat, and he crouches and then looks around. Do you tell him that he has to row the boat?
Well, I would hope just by me charming him and speaking to him, and he's going to consider me such of a good friend that he's just going to, you know, voluntarily help as a good friend would.
Okay. He says, well, it'll be different than how I normally operate my boat, but sure, why not? And he sits down amongst the others, but he faces in a opposite direction. And he grabs one of his oars and tell everyone to grab their oars. The fella that decided to come along as well because the Pict paid him, his name is Lars. and he's this one burly fella. Got hair on his forearms, and he brings in a harpoon just in case. And the captain looks at you and says, "Well, if you have any other business here in the town, then now's your time. Otherwise, we're off." Any last round of business out here in Herrings' home?
I don't have any other business.
Okay.
Neither.
Nope, Arlen's ready.
Well then, we're good to go. We launch. And he says, "Row, row, row." He continues on calling out people to row simultaneously. And the boat slowly launches from the shores of Herrings' home into the waters in the sea of falling stars. And the boat continues. Go ahead.
Arlen's going to walk up as we get out into the sea a good 50 feet or so. Arlen's going to walk up to the bow, the front of the boat, and just stand there as he's kind of like in his picture. You know, he's holding his staff, and he's just standing there looking out towards where they're going. So he's going to stay in front of the boat. Okay.
Because there are, let's see, Tig is still there, right? So, 4 of you and the captain, that's 5 of you, and Lars. But because Arlen has stopped rowing, that's going to slow the boat down just a tad bit.
I misunderstood. I thought they were doing the rowing. I didn't know we were doing the rowing. If we're having help row, then yeah, okay, I won't do that.
Yeah, I thought that we had everyone rowing the boats for us, so we don't have to.
Yeah, it's like one of those old Viking long boats. It doesn't have any sail. It just has, a row of, oars where people take their station and start rowing. So think of those rowing events in Olympics. That's sort of what it looks like. Yeah.
But we hired people to row the boat for us, so we don't have to row.
We only hire one guy, right, Lars?
I don't know. I guess.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll be rowing. That's fine.
I don't want to spend an hour arguing over this. Whatever. We're all rowing. Cool.
Yeah. So everybody's rowing, and then you guys are out in the middle of the water. And let's see. And an hour goes by, a couple of hours go by, and nothing happens. And the weather's quite clear. And a couple hours down the line, you see storm clouds brewing in the horizon.
Okay, I'm going to take off my clothes, so getting ready to wash them.
Okay. Do you do anything, Crystal?
Tangler, he actually has a background as a sailor.
Mm-hmm.
So when he sees this, he'll actually go ahead and alert the captain that, oh, look, storm on the horizon there.
Well, I see it as well. And he looks at you guys and say, well, we better brace ourselves just in case the weather becomes choppy and the water becomes choppy here.
Yeah, I actually want to use, I have proficiency in weather sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to use that and see what I can sense about this storm, if I can make anything out about it.
Well, you understand that the water would probably get choppy, and the waves will get higher and higher. Essentially, you'll have to hang on and row and try to go through the waters.
Yeah, I relayed back to Pict and Tangler and the rest of the crew, and just I believe this storm may be very strong itself. Of course, those of us who are not used to rowing boats, it's going to be a tough ride, but I believe we can make it.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I have a 10 wisdom. Is there rope on the boat?
Yes, there are.
I'm going to take the rope and I'm going to put it through the loop that the oar is in. Good. And tie it around my waist and then I will grunt and toss the end to somebody else to do the same.
The captain looks over and says, "Well, that's a great idea," and he ties one of the ends of the rope to the mast. You know, the front anchor. I'm not exactly sure what the term is, but he ties it and instructs everyone else to tie it just in case the water gets extremely dangerous. So as you propel through the water, row your boat, the water does indeed become a little bit more treacherous. And you see the waves rise slowly. At first, it's a couple, a couple feet, and slowly the waves get larger and larger, and you feel the boat lurching up and down as you ride the tumultuous waves of Sea of Stars. Everybody make a saving throw versus, let's say, paralyzation.
Since I have a secondary skill as a sailor, do I get any kind of benefit there?
Yeah, actually, do it at +2.
Okay. And that still failed, I think. Let me see.
I passed 19 on the die.
Good, excellent. So everybody who has failed, just let me know.
Yeah, I failed.
Okay. Daniel, did you make it?
Sorry, I was muted. Poison, right? So I passed. I got
okay. Good. Everyone's doing their part, trying to hang on to their oar, but because of the sudden movement, Tangler accidentally drops one of the oars, and he loses balance, but he stays put. As that's going on. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when he loses this oar, if it's not too late, he wants to try and take his net from his body and toss it out so he can catch his oar and pull it back in.
Okay. Try to roll 1d20 and under your dex, please.
Under dex, okay. Dex under 12.
Okay. Makes it, right? Yeah, so you actually toss it, and you catch your oar without too much problem. And you reel it in. You, at the same time, you catch a couple of squids.
Nice.
Yeah. And the captain looks at you and says, "Wow, it seems like you've caught a couple of those critters out there."
I used to take sailing for Vildor back when I lived there. That was how I eventually became a gladiator.
Have you sailed before, my friend?
Yes, my father was a captain of a boat. Back when I lived in Vildor, he would take me out. And like I said, that was how I eventually found my way to be a gladiator.
And he nods, and he looks down at his lodestone that he's holding on to with his left hand at this point. And he looks up at the sky and nods to himself and says, "Yes, we're on the right path. We shall do fine." And he nods. So you guys continue to row for a little while, and across the horizon, the blue, calm water is visible, and you feel calm as your boat slowly glides across from the dark, tumultuous sea into a more calm waters. And you let out a sigh of relief as you find yourself in pristine and beautiful waters of Sea of Stars. And the captain turns to all of you and says, "It shall be about half a day or so of rowing, and we should arrive at our destination.
It's obvious that the naked pet would like to eat some of the squid, but he's too polite to ask, so he just stares at you.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that when things got calm, I was going to cook up some of those squid.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that if you want, but as you do so, the boat's going to slow down just a tad bit because I assume that you guys are taking turns and cooking the squid and preparing it. But you look at the captain, and he looks like he's grinning to himself, and he goes up to his stash of harpoons and starts sharpening the tip. And he looks at you guys and says, well, we should be where we're going pretty soon. Just be on the ready, gentlemen. Just be on the ready.
Their foreign is always ready.
And as you continue to row, about, I'd say, quarter mile away, you see the waters churning, and you see the choppy waters as if there's a school of fish in a wild feeding frenzy or trying to escape from something.
Oh, that don't look good right there, Captain. I hope it ain't no Leviathan.
And the captain looks at you and says, well, it's nothing. And he looks at his harpoon again and turns to Arlen and says, well, my friend, it seems like we have arrived. And nods at Arlen.
That is wonderful news. An excellent job for everyone involved in getting us here safely.
But you don't see the island anywhere. And he said he motions he nods at Lars and says, well, Lars, prepare the net. And Lars says, oh, all right then. And he takes out a large net and casts it over the side of the boat. And he ends up catching some fish and a bunch of squid. Any comments, or do you guys protest or do anything?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Farron will say, now, Captain, I don't mean no disrespect, but I'm not seeing our island around here anywhere.
Well, my friend, we got a little haul that we got to carry back to the village. I'm just telling you, it's not too far away from your destination. We're just a little far from here, and we should be there. And after that, after catching the fish and without too much event, you actually end up pulling into a large cove. And sure enough, I guess the mists that were surrounding the island kind of blocked your vision. And you find yourselves in sorry guys, in Lonesome Cove. The island looks beautiful, and longboat pulls into a sandy beach, and you're instructed to disembark.
Okay. Do so.
Okay, and there's a trail of rocky path leading up a cliffside. It's a hill leading up to the cliffside, and upon the top sits a dilapidated keep. You could barely make it out, but yeah, I mean that seems like it's the only place to go for now. As you make your way up the hill, the dilapidated keep comes into view. The weather is fairly nice, and you see fairly well-kept garden that looks starkly different from the setting with the dilapidated keep. But the building's ancient, but the garden looks well-kept. And the tower seems to be in a serviceable condition. You walk up to a wooden gate, and next to it is a bronze bell and a mallet.
I believe we were supposed to announce our arrival. Usually, Tangle, you're better at making noise.
Oh, yeah, I got this, brother. And he'll take that mallet and just gong outside that bell.
After the bell rings, you wait for a little while, and you hear some commotion in the back. And eventually the door creaks open just a tad bit. And a withered old man opens the door and looks up at you folks and says, "Well, what brings you here?" Daniel?
Sword.
Sword. And he looks at you, Crystal.
Well, brother, let me tell you, we've heard rumors of an item around here, one of legendary quality, and we seek to collect it in the name of the high priest, whatever his name was.
Xavier, yeah. And he looks at every one of you and says, "Well, you are in the residence of Sir Tyrell of High Gods. Allow me to announce your arrival." And he closes the door, and you hear the footsteps fading away.
Yeah,
and a little later,
I would have gave him the name of the. Isn't it the brother that lives here?
Brother is actually the Duke. Duke Amon is the brother of the fellow that lives here. So do you give the name of the Duke? Do you tell him that you come on behalf of the Duke, or do you tell him that it's...
I thought we were supposed to talk to a certain guy here, but Xavier told us to talk to a certain guy here, but I don't remember his name.
Oh, Tyrell, Sir Tyrell.
Okay.
So when he says that you've come to the residence of Sir Tyrell, you do recognize that you've come to the right place. And a little later, you hear footsteps of, another footstep. And the door opens. You see that little old butler, and next to him stands a gentleman with graying hair. He seems to be in his mid-50s or so, but he looks very well groomed. He's a well-kept gentleman in his 50s, wearing a simply adorned but well-maintained silk shirt, blue velvet vest. You see a pair of dark gray trousers and a pair of leather galoshes with silver belt buckle. He greets you and introduces himself as Sir Tyrell of High Gods. He says, "My name is Sir Tyrell, and I am a paladin of High Gods. I understand that you were sent here by Father Xavier. Is this true?"
Yes, Father Xavier sent us a request to speak with you and try to obtain the relic of the famous sword. Seems to be quite some trouble going on back in the main kingdom that we need to quell before the evil takes root.
I see. You all have a letter that Xavier gave you. If you choose to do so, you could give that letter directly to him.
Oh yeah, if I had that letter to you, I would present it.
Okay. So he takes the letter, and so he's given the letter that basically summarizes the situation written by Xavier. He says he glances over it and nods to you guys and say we should set out immediately since the road would be a long one. And he seems worried that your party won't be ready if you depart right now, however. So he wants to depart immediately, but at the same time, he's concerned that you won't be ready for what you're to face should you go without rest. And he says, sorry guys. Yep. So he says, you all understand the reason why you're here, correct?
Yes, we do, and I believe things should probably be as hasty as we can make it, even though we are somewhat tired. We rested in the village there last night.
Okay. I understand. I will fetch my sword, and we should depart as soon as possible then.
Sword.
And Tyrell disappears into his chamber and comes back out with a scabbard housing an elaborate sword. The sword is about 5 feet long from the tip of the sword to the pommel, and it's quite thick. It's about 5 inches thick at the thickest, and it tapers off to a fine point. You can assume that by looking at the scabbard. The handguard, however, looks like a gnarled, wooden branch. And you see these 2 knobs that gnarl and wrap into it. And in the center of the sword sits a large blue sapphire. And he holds it up and says, "This, my friend, is why you've been sent here. This is Horrorbane. Shall I tell you the story behind the sword?"
Yes, we would definitely care to know the history of this.
The sword was forged when my forefathers fought a great war. The battle that decided the outcome of the war is called the Battle of Red Grass. It was fought in the southern portion of Duchy of Valinor. Well, most folks nowadays call it the ye old battleground. It is there that the enemy of the throne has decided it wise to summon a demon and launch an attack against us. It is there Sir Tyrell, my great-great-great-grandfather, who alongside his great general dispatched the army. And in the end, all that was left were a few survivors. Yet the sword was actually forged by the Duke's wife. And it was given secretly to Sir Tyrell the Chaste as a favor for him. You could understand how that would have upset my own ancestor, knowing that his beloved was perhaps plotting against him. In a fit of rage, after the battle, he challenged his dear friend, his once dear friend and companion, and also the hero of the war, Sir Tyrell, on a single battle. They fought one another. Horrorbane was wrested from the hands of Sir Tyrell in midst of battle, and the sword was the instrument that ended Sir Tyrell's life. He took the sword back and gave the sword back to his wife. Lady Telamon received the sword, didn't express any grief, but after a few nights, she threw herself on top of the sword and slew herself. Ever since then, Duke, my great-great-great-grandfather, he's banished the sword on this island. The sword was supposed to be kept here, summoned only when its powers are needed. But my family line never wished to look upon the sword again. But I have decided that it is my duty to look after the sword, for it is my family's legacy that's tied deeply to the history of this blade. And he looks at you guys, and he unsheaths his sword. The sword looks beautiful, it's brilliant, and the gem starts to sparkle. This blade's true power truly comes to shine when it is in battle against a demon, a fiend, or creatures of great horror out of our own world. And according to the letter, Father Xavier thinks that one of the relics from the Great War has survived. This mirror that he mentions, the crystal mirror of Acheron, seems to be controlling my brother, and that is why I am summoned along with the sword. Our quest is to shatter this artifact using our sword. And then he holds it up for a little while for everyone to look upon, and he sheathes it carefully. Once we return, we may find substantial resistance if they know that we're coming. We may need to devise a way to enter stealthily, or some way that we could speak with my brother directly without unnecessary bloodshed. Once we return to the town, the shore town of Herrings home, we may need to find a strategy, devise a plan to approach the castle of Valinor. Otherwise, this may result in a tragedy. And he looks at and nods at every one of you.
No fly.
Gnome lie?
Gnome fly.
Gnome fly? I do not understand what you mean.
Gnome. I make the 2 foot high off the ground in my hand.
You are saying that there is a way that we could fly to the castle of Valinor?
Oh yeah, those crafty little let me tell you something, brother. I'm a dwarf and I prefer to be grounded. I don't know if I'm gonna be getting up in any kind of situation where I have to be off this earth.
The paladin, the brother, Sir Tyrell looks at you and says, "Well, I pity the fool who do not take full advantage of ways that are given to him." And he nods. So, shall we set off?
Gnomes.
Yeah, we're going to the city of Gnomes. Have you been working on that beard?
He strokes his chin. You see some silver stubbles, but it's not a full beard like yours. So you guys all ready to go back into the boat?
Yes, I do believe we should make time on our side and proceed as we can and go now.
Right, so everybody makes their way down, and you return back to the longboat. And the captain looks at everybody and says, "Well, it seems like we have another passenger then." Arr. And he motions for everyone to be on, get on board, and throws the oar to everyone, including Sir Tyrell, and commands everyone to start rowing. And he takes a seat and starts rowing back out of the island into the waters of a sea of fallen stars once more. As you row, and eventually, night comes, and notice that you haven't slept at all since you've arrived at the town of Herrings home. You feel that your arms are growing tired. Roll D20, everybody, and see if you roll over your con.
You said roll over it?
Yeah, see if you roll over it.
I failed, man. 9 out of 12.
Okay. Anybody? Everyone else? Daniel? Crystal?
They fell out of the boat.
I'm sorry, I muted. I rolled a 1.
No, roll
9 out of
one.
6.
Yeah.
9 out of
6.
16.
Okay.
9 out of 16.
Well, I was going to say if you rolled over it, then you would have failed. But it seems like everybody made it. So yeah, you're still okay. You're just still rolling without any problem. And suddenly you feel the boat lurch to one side. And by the way, this is night waters. You see the stars, and they look beautiful. And you guys are rowing back to the town of Herring home, but the boat starts to lurch all of a sudden. The water, ironically, is completely calm. It seems like something has bumped into the bottom side of your boat. The captain looks visibly nervous, and his eyes dart around and says, "No, no, no, not at this hour." And he rushes over and grabs his harpoon and says, "Everybody, it seems like we have company." All right, everyone make initiative. Roll initiatives, please.
I told you it was a Leviathan.
Ooh, 10.
I forgot what's initiative in this one. Is it just a D20?
D10 low is better.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I rolled a 10.
Okay, for the group, you've rolled 10.
Oh, we're doing a group. Okay, sorry, guys.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. The boat, everyone make try to roll under your decks, please.
I failed by 1.
Okay.
17 over 12.
Okay.
I made it.
Okay.
12
Everyone who makes it, stay in their place. Arlen, however, drops his oar and falls back. He's prone currently.
Help me up, Chamber. Help me up. I seem to have been lurched over here.
And as you speak those words, from the aft of the boat, you hear. Excuse me. Hold on a second.
We see the end of the goal. We have met our victory. We are paraded around town and showered with treasure.
And all of a sudden, 50 Sahajins jump out of the water and attack you guys. Yeah. From the aft of the boat, you hear a loud splash, and you see a grayish, slimy tentacle shooting up, straight up from the bottom of the boat. And the captain yells to everybody, "It is him! The great beak is here. Drink your potions, my friends." And he takes out a small vial and chugs it down.
As he's doing that, I look at him and I go, "Well, what is the great beak?"
Do you recall when I mentioned that there's a creature that I've been searching for a long time? And I was seeking your help in tracking him down, yes?
Yes.
There is a large creature, a tentacle creature that's been stalking these waters. And as he's going into this exposition, another tentacle shoots out from under the boat and attacks the captain.
Oh,
And Nixon. And the captain screams as he's knocked back. And the tentacle grabs him and hoists him over the hull of the boat. And the captain screams all of a sudden. It's like, grab your harpoons, attack!
Is it too late to try to pierce the tentacle or something to save the captain, or?
No, I mean that was his the first attack of this creature. You remember we all roll for the initiative.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay.
Yep. So that's that. Another tentacle pops up from the water, and now it's going for Tig. And I rolled 1 literally on the die. This is miserably. Another one pops up out of the water with a large, loud splash and attacks Daniel's character. Your armor class, is it under 7?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, you dodge out of the way as it swipes down. And another tentacle swipes down upon Tangler and hits AC 8.
It misses.
All right.
Tangler knocks it away.
So that was 4 attacks so far, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and these tentacles are just waving and trying to grab you guys at the same time. It's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna drink my potion.
Okay.
And I, of course, like before, I'm gonna grab the rope, and I'm gonna grab my sword, and I'm gonna dive over the side and try to stab this thing.
Oh wow!
Like a human spear. And I'm going to go cowabunga as I do it.
Okay. You're not wearing any armor?
No, I'm naked.
Okay.
I just have a broadsword and a piece of rope in my hand, and yeah, I can go on for
it. Do you have swimming proficiency or anything like that?
No, I have a rope.
Okay. Let's see. Let's try to keep it under your strength. Roll 1d20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got an 11. My strength is 18 or 84.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to enter the water, and as you do so, because it's night waters, you don't see anything. But so if you're making an attack, do it at penalty of -4.
Okay. 18 on die. That's going to hit on the shoulder. Plus with the broadsword. That's 23 minus 1 would be 22.
Okay,
Second armor class, -12.
Yeah, that hits.
Let's see, 2d4. What size is the creature? Is it large or is it medium small?
Yeah, it's a large creature.
Okay. Ooh, 6. 6 plus 8 is 12.
Okay.
All right, for my second attack. Ooh, that's 20. That doesn't mean anything on this thing. You don't do crits, right? So.
The first one was how much? 12 points of damage?
14 points for the first one.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah. There's no crits in second edition, though, right? So I rolled a 20. That's going to hit, obviously.
Okay.
5 plus 8, so that's 13. So I did 27 points total with my magical broadsword. And I am naked.
Jeez. I should have made the monster stronger.
The naked pit is here.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? We have Tangler up next.
Yeah, Tangler is going to take his net, and I'm going to throw it down into the water and attempt to tangle this creature up into it.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Make your roll, please.
Okay, I got, let's see, that's 11, 12, 13.
I'm going to treat this...
I hit armor class 1.
Yep, that hits.
I hit armor class 0, actually.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to have it... Excuse me. I'm gonna treat this as if you're using a weapon that you're unfamiliar with, unproficient weapon that you're not proficient with. So that's at a -4 penalty.
Oh, and it's also get well. Okay, so I actually specialize in the net.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then you hit it.
Yeah, and my net's a +2, so my net's also a +2, which I forget about. So I'm actually hitting like armor class negative.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll this one.
Well, I'm called Tangler because I specialize with a net.
That makes sense. Good. So yeah, you actually managed to hold 4 of the tentacles in your net. Make your strength check. Roll 1d20 and see if you could keep it under your strength.
Okay. Yeah, I got a 10 out of 17.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm gonna have you check that every single round, and to see if you could keep those tentacles immobilized.
Okay.
Okay, Tony's turn.
Yeah, just to clarify, Arlen has not drank his potion yet because he was in the middle of this conversation with the captain, and then when seeing the captain being jerked and trying to be pulled overboard, his first thought is to try to take his spear that he holds onto and try to jab into this tentacle, but to keep the captain from going overboard. That's what he's doing.
Okay.
Ooh, a 19 on that, so that's going to get armor class -3.
Okay.
But it only does minimal damage, 1 point of damage with his spear.
Okay. Yeah, 1 point of damage, and it will. Let's see. Yeah, it holds on to the captain, and yeah, it takes 1 point of damage. Great. All right, next round. The tentacle swings down and attacks you, Arlen, and hits armor class 3.
Yep, that gets me. I'm 6. So.
Wait, did you say next round?
Yeah, did you have a second attack?
No, but what did we not roll initiative?
Do you want to roll
Or do
initiative
we-
each time?
Oh, do we keep the same initiative?
Let's roll it then. Yep. I got 5.
Okay. I guess I'll roll it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it, Crystal.
I got a 2.
Okay, you guys go first. So basically what's happening is that 4 of the tentacles are out of the water. It's basically this gigantic creature is underneath the boat. It had its tentacles wrapped around it and try to rock it and have you guys fall into the water. But apparently the naked Pict has dove into it and attacked the head. And you, using your net, somehow luckily were able to immobilize 4 other tentacles. So 4 of the tentacles are still active and it's attacking you. It seems like some sort of a giant squid or a giant octopus. Seeing that it's only got 8 tentacles, it must be an octopus.
Okay, so I mean, I already rolled mine. I hit -4 armor class and -5 armor class in my 2 attacks.
Okay.
I'm assuming those both hit.
They do not.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I miss.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. This thing is tangled up in my net. So it counts as being partially pinned right now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the rules on this. I should have looked it up before today, but I believe it might be partially pinned. I know it's armor class, like falls some because it's tangled in my net. It counts as being.
Wait, but hold on. What I said -4, -5.
Oh, -4 and 5. Yeah, definitely hits. I was thinking.
Okay, all right, because I was like, hold on, because I hit it before.
AC4. I was thinking AC4 and 5.
Oh no,
oh, man.
-4, -5. So
Yeah, they both definitely hit.
All right, I was like, hold on. So I did 12 and 11, so 23 points with my magic broadsword.
So you did 27 points
20,
before.
Yep.
Okay.
So
all right.
Was that 50 points so far?
Yep.
And I scream Cowabunga, and I'm naked.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So you're ready to go. You're ready to attack as well, Tangler.
Okay, so it's in my net. So because it's in my net, I'm able to attempt to wrestle it into submission. Let me say blah blah blah. I can no longer fight with it as an accurate. Each subsequent attack roll, the unfold net, blah blah blah. Minus 3 attack. 1%. Position gives a +1 attack. So the damage, you get that +2. And you get that to your strength bonus. Yeah, I can attempt to subdue it with my strength. It counts as a 10. I'm trying to remember where the I'm trying to find the unarmed combat rules again because that's where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, if you're subduing it,
basically, I remember that we do opposed strength rolls. We each make a strength roll, and if I pass, if it passes, I think it breaks free if I remember correctly, and if I pass, like basically it's like I'm wrapping it up, and it gets like a minus. I believe it was a -2 to its strength, and if it gets to 0 strength, then it can't move anymore. It's completely subdued.
I see. Yeah, I mean, what I did during the first round when you made a successful hit was I made you roll 1d20 and try to keep it under your strength. I'm gonna keep it at that same, simplified rule. If you still make it, then the portion, the tentacles that you had entangled will remain so. If you don't, then I'm gonna say that the tentacles would be able to move freely again.
Okay.
Let's roll,
all right.
Roll 1d20, please.
All right, under my strength. Okay, I made a 4 under 17. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say those 4 tentacles remain under your submission. If you don't do anything, then you're gonna keep them at bay. Otherwise, if you make an attack, then we're gonna assume that the tentacles are let go.
Wait, I thought I had a free like. I have the net now with one hand, like holding it, so I should be able to grab my Darius out with my other hand and begin to slash at the tentacles, right?
Well, because you're using your full strength, and I'm assuming that you're using both of your arms to do so.
Okay.
That would be the case. But if we're trying to use only one hand, I'm gonna make your submission doubly difficult. So that means doubling the amount that you rolled earlier, and trying to keep it underneath your under your strength.
And I'll just say I'm keeping it under control for everyone for now, since it is whatever. It's a large creature and whatever.
Okay. All right. So we move on to Tony's Arlen.
Yeah, he's going to keep trying to free the captain from this tentacle.
Okay. Does he make an attack?
I'll miss bad this time, so I missed totally with 5.
Okay. Are you using any druid abilities or anything like that?
No, I'm just still using my spear because there's really nothing else I can do. I'm way out of my element with spells I have that they will not work here in the water.
Okay. The creature.
Daddy, are you finished yet?
The creature looks like it's. Well, I mean, from the top side, you don't see anything wrong with it, but from the water below, actually, the water is pretty dark too, so you don't get to see anything at all. You don't know what's happening with the creature, but the tentacles are definitely thrashing around. There are 4 tentacles that are free. One of them swipes down at you and hits armor class. Oh my god, I'm rolling so horribly. Armor class 8 against Tangler.
He misses.
Okay. And I am. What is that? Hits armor class 4 against Daniel.
Yep, that hits. That's exactly my armor class.
Okay. Let's see. Roll your paralyzation and see if you make the save.
I rolled a 14.
And also
paralyzed is 11, so I made it.
11, you made it. Okay.
Yeah.
You take 3 points of damage, by the way.
Okay. I can smell the creature's fear, so I laugh at it.
Okay, good. All right, and another armor class 3 against.
Yep, that hits.
Yep. Okay, here we go. 1d8. 2 points of damage.
Okay.
And make your paralyzation.
All right.
Okay. By this time,
I failed with a 2.
Okay. You're held, and the tentacle manages to wrap itself around you, and then it picks you up off the boat. By this time, the one tentacle that was holding the captain pulls him down under the water, and you hear the captain goes ah, and he's pulled under the water, and you hear a splashing sound. Okay, and next round.
Go ahead and roll.
Two for initiative.
You can
Me,
roll.
okay.
Yeah, Tony.
I got a 9.
Nice.
Good. Okay. Right. The creature pulls you down underwater, Tony. So that's what it's doing.
I am wearing leather armor, and I have not ever drank my potions, so whatever effects takes place, I guess I will be drowning at this point, huh?
Yeah, hold on a second. Okay. We better pull you up within 3 rounds. All right, and... And
Daddy, are you finished? Daddy, no, I mean playing this.
hold on, guys. Just one moment.
Hey, I'm gonna run and take a battle break. I'll be right back too.
Okay. Daniel, do you have any idea where the unarmed combat rules are? I'm assuming Daniel's here.
I was going to be wise to say the player's handbook. I'm not sure, but there are modified ones in the complete fighter's handbook. Do you have that?
Yeah, I do.
That might have more information. Hold on, let me look.
Yeah, I'm looking for those, because like they have those rules where it's, like, oh, if you do this, you can. I love the unarmed combat in second edition.
Yeah. Like the grappling stuff is what you're looking for, or for the next specifically?
Yeah, I like the well, I guess both, but yeah, I was looking at the net section earlier, but it's not telling me what I need to know about tying up the opponent and everything.
Okay. Okay, so wrestling,
Right.
Wrestling in particular is on page 75.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. No problem.
So the squid is making, the octopus is making a very strange noise as it gets attacked by the sailors here. Okay, is Tony back yet?
Not yet.
The restroom. He's not back yet.
Okay.
Crap.
Crystal, in the player's handbook on page 97 is also the standard rules for that.
Okay. Well, I don't have. I have the PDF, and the PDF is apparently not numbered correctly, and like the numbers aren't on the page.
You guys want to take like 5 minutes break, everybody?
Okay, that's fine.
That's
All right,
cool.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a break. I'll see if I can look quickly, Crystal. I'm eating something, but just that out.
All right. That's fine. Yeah. If there's like a unique word or something on the page, I can control F. Just let me know.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Haymaker.
Haymaker. Yes, that'll work. That should work.
We find it, yeah.
Yes. There we go. Thank you. Yes.
I'm back.
All right. They're taking a 5-minute break.
Alrighty.
And I'm looking through wrestling stuff. I love the I love the unarmed combat in second edition. I swear I want to do this. I want to make some kind of second edition thing with I want to make some second edition thing where everyone is like unarmed and they have to like fight their way out with their fists.
I just don't care for second edition or really first edition anymore. It's got too much stuff for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Second edition is my favorite version, to be honest. Like if you know, like the only reason I don't run it more often is because I know that you don't like it, but I love it. To me,
I'll play it. I mean, I'll play it, but I have no interest in running or nothing.
Tony likes fourth edition.
Yeah, he loves fourth edition.
Yeah, I do.
But no, like I mean,
since I've never played it, I love it.
But no, like I mean, it's like with fifth edition. Like I'll play fifth edition, but it's not going to be my first choice. So like I mean, you know, of like the edition to play. So that's why I don't do second edition, because like I know that you don't enjoy it that much, and it's like if you don't enjoy it, I don't want to run it because you know, like if you're going to be there, I don't want to run it.
No, I mean I enjoy. Like I say, I'll play it. I enjoy it playing it. It's just not an edition I'll probably ever run. It's just you know, I mean I played first edition growing up. I mean, and enjoyed it back then, but it's not something I care about doing now.
Yeah, I don't know. Second edition is my favorite, to be honest. Like I think it has just enough stuff, in my opinion. I don't believe it's like too rules heavy, but you know, I mean, I know other people that believe that like you know that it is too rules heavy. So I don't know.
I'm back.
Like there was a forum on Reddit talking not too long ago about like what would you consider to be like the last OSR Dungeons and Dragons, and I said that like to me the last OSR was probably like second edition, because third edition is where like third edition and 3.5, that's where they like a lot of people said that was the last one, but for me, that's where they started doing a whole lot of the stuff where like you have to have these proficiencies, and if you want to swim, you got to you know, roll to swim, and instead of just you know whatever, just swim. Where for second edition, like the proficiencies are optional. So I don't know. Like if I want to swim, I just fucking swim. I'm not gonna make you roll for it unless like you know there's some kind of really dangerous situation. Maybe you're wearing heavy armor or something like that. That would make sense. But I don't know. That's where it became roll heavy for me. And then like on Facebook not too long ago, people were talking about fifth edition, and someone was said that like the reason they didn't like it, like the original poster basically said the reason they didn't like fifth edition was because it was like it called for too many rolls for too many dumb things. And, you know, of course, all of the 5e acolytes were like, no, it doesn't. You just have a bad DM if you roll too much. And it was like, whatever. Like, you're never going to change their mind. So. But I don't know. I'm just saying, like, for me, 2E had, like, just enough stuff. I like 1E as well.
2E is good because they have Kender.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kender are great. Everyone loves Kender.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm back, guys.
I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit when I said everyone loves Kender.
Okay, so where were we? We had the tentacle. Tentacle had tangled up Tony and pulled him under the water, and I believe he had 4 rounds, right?
You said 3.
3 rounds. 3 rounds. But don't give up hope yet. All good. All right. 2. I think That was the first attack, correct? And next attack goes against Tangler. Hits AC 2.
Yeah, it hits me.
All right. And let's see, it does. And 1 point of damage you take.
Ouch.
And let's see. Paralyzation save. You could make that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I passed. Sorry, I'm looking stuff up. Yeah, I passed.
Okay. All right. So the tentacle basically swaps down and slaps you across the face. That doesn't do anything. All right. And Daniel, realizing that you are a threat under the water, it attacks you and armor class 3.
That hits.
It hits. And you take 7 points of damage.
Okay. I failed my save if I needed to make one.
Okay. You are entangled.
Okay. Does that mean I can't attack or I'm just entangled?
Yeah, you can attack, but attack at -4 penalty.
Okay. All right. So I already made my rolls. It's our turn now, right? I'd already made my rolls.
You got one more attack coming.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And that's a natural 20. So that's a hit. And you get 1 point of damage again.
Against me?
Yep.
Do I have to roll paralyzed?
No, you're already held, so you should be fine.
Okay. So anyways, what I was saying is I already made my attack and I hit -7 both times. So it would be -3. Does that hit -3?
Okay. Yeah, both of them hit. Roll your damage, please.
And then all my air will be.
If -3 hits, then I hit both times.
Okay. And what's your total damage?
What's it? Is 11 plus 16. 27.
Okay. Everybody who's held by the tentacle all of a sudden feels the tentacle's tight grip loosen, and you feel as if the tentacles that were constricting you has gone limp. You don't hear any sound or anything, but it seems like it's let go of everybody. And yeah. Daniel,
did I feel it sink away?
And yeah, it's letting you go. It's completely limp, and you don't feel it constricting you anymore. And the struggle that the creature was making against you, Tangler, above the water, you don't feel any resistance. You just feel the weight of the creature like try to pull you down, but not on purpose. It's basically the passive weight that's pulling it down, and it's pretty darn heavy. Make your strength check. Roll 1d20 and see if you keep it under your strength.
Okay. 16 under 17.
Okay. Tony, while that's going on, you take 4 points of damage.
Okay.
All right. And can you roll under your strength?
Me? Okay.
Yep.
I can try. It's going to be 50-50. And that is a pass by 1.
Okay. All right. So you made it, right? As you struggle to break the surface, you barely make it. You struggle out of the limp tentacles that are around you, and as you break the water and air returns to your lung, what does it look like?
Yeah, as soon as I burst back to the surface and gasp out, I'm going to start looking for the captain to see if I see him anywhere or try to locate him and help him.
Okay. Captain actually bobs up out of the water, not too far away from you, about 5 feet away from you, and says, "We got the son of a bitch." And yeah, he climbs up out of the water. And everybody gets pulled back into the boat, and it seems like everyone's exhausted from that battle. Lars apparently seems like he was knocked out unconscious by the tentacle during the battle. Tig apparently, hid in the corner of the boat, and he still survived. I guess I wasn't really playing Tig at all, right? So. Yeah, so everybody made it, and you have just killed a home-brewed monster, some sort of a smaller version of a giant octopus.
Hey, baby.
All right. Good job, guys.
Just to be clear, Farum is going to keep this thing in his net, and if he can, he would like to drag it and tie it to the boat, and
Okay.
take this back with him. As a glorious trophy. He will keep the beak as a trophy, and B, he'll let the captain or whatever the people feast on it.
Excellent. Yeah, the captain helps you tie it to one part of the boat, and you guys successfully row it all the way back to the shores.
I'm going to look over at the Pict, and I'm going to say, "I hope you're hungry, because we're having octopus tonight, buddy."
Yep. So you guys, it's almost dawn, and you're completely exhausted. The longboat pulls in with the carcass of this gigantic octopus, and Herrings welcomes you. Basically, some of the folks see that you're dragging this gigantic monster. That's about the size of this longboat. I mean, longboat isn't all that large. It's about, I don't know, 20 feet or so. But the giant octopus looks like its head, bulbous head, is about, 10 feet in diameter. But it's the tentacles that are quite long and ferocious looking. So yeah, you pull this monster into the town, and everybody cheers, and folks gather around, and one of the folks run up to Arlen and say, "Well, how did you do this, sir? You caught one of those. You caught the monster that's been terrorizing our shores."
Arlen is exhausted, both physically and mentally, and he looks towards this villager, and he just points back at the captain. He goes, "It was all your good captain's doing. He directed everyone, and you may give him the title of hero."
Okay. And Captain Bayhab points to Naked Pict and Tangler, and says, "Well, without these fellows' help, we would never have slain this monster." And yeah,
Tangler will strike a heroic pose.
Yeah, as you do so, the townsfolk all erupt into cheers, and they say, "Hooray!" And Sir, what's his name? Sir Tyrell. I guess let's assume that he was knocked out in the battle as well. He finally comes to and says, "Well done, folks. You've managed to help these people of Herrings out." So you guys get off the boat, and the captain gives you a sum of gold. He basically returns I believe, 300 gold that he's taken from Tig, and says, "Well, I can't charge the folks who helped me defeat my mortal enemy," and returns the gold and gives extra 50 gold pieces to each one of you.
Cool.
And
I'm gonna cut the Farum is gonna cut the beak out of that octopus. He's gonna keep it as a trophy, like I said.
Great. It's fairly large and cumbersome. If you have like a bag of holding or something, that'll be okay. But if you want to pawn it at one of the local, either the temple or one of the shops or something like that, they would do that. They would keep it for you for a price. So.
Yeah, I'll take it to a local shop and see if they can have it like taxidermied, basically.
Sure. They said, well, it'll take about a week or so. if you want to come back another time, then we're going to have it all ready for you.
Varun will take out a slip and he will write up basically like, an IOU, whatever, to these people, and he will ask them, just deliver it to my manager. He'll know what to do with it.
It's only 10 gold pieces if you want to pay for it. I mean, you got a lot of gold, so you can just pay them.
Well, he'll go ahead and pay for that, but and he'll also go ahead and pay for the transport services for when it's done. Just they can just put it on a caravan or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, just consider it done, and it's. They take care of it for you, and if you do survive the adventure, you're gonna have this awesome trophy delivered to you.
Nice.
Great. So once you return, Sir Tyrell turns to you and says, "Well, it'll be wise for you to rest up. I don't think we'll be able to travel back to the castle at this condition."
Oh, yeah. I guess I could use a day's rest.
Yeah, I want to go to the place where we bought the healing potions.
Okay.
And buy some because I'm pretty hurt.
Okay.
So was that from the gnomes?
No, it was the Temple of High Gods, which is in the center of the town. If you want to go back there and buy the potions, you can do so. If you want to pay 300 gold pieces, then they'll basically heal you back up to. 400 gold pieces. It'll heal you back up to your full health.
Also, that morning as we arrive in, Arlen is hurt somewhat, but is not as bad as Pict. And he looks over at Pict and says, "This will help you feel better, son. I'll cast Cure Light Wounds on him for 7 HP."
Oh, okay, perfect. Then
Nice.
If you do that, thank you, Woodland friend. That puts me at only 7 down. So I think I'll just buy a healing potion because they were 50, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
so
pretty cheap.
It'll be cheaper to do that because I only need 7 more. So it's 2d4 plus 2.
Are there any other priests or a temple or anything where I could pay a little bit and just get like a cure? Like I'm only down by like 1, so I'm not that worried about it. But if I can get that 1 back, I will.
Yeah, I mean, you walk in and you guys are the hero that slew this octopus monster that's been plaguing the town. So yeah, they do it for like some 10 gold pieces or something. No problem.
Sure. Yeah. Cure Light Wounds, and yeah, that'll just heal me back up to full.
Yeah, Cure Light Wounds like dime a dozen, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so they take care of you. So you're back at the inn, and Sir Tyrell says, "Well, what seems to be the plan? We could take the road back through Longmore Woods. We could take the river through the Red Dragon River, or you mentioned something about the gnome, right?
Gnome fly. Can I get? I want when I'm at the temple. Could I get like a roofie?
What's that? Roofie?
Like a roofie?
What is that?
Well, because I want to basically knock out.
I see where you're going with this.
I want to pull a 18 Mr. T move.
Yes.
Basically give the dwarf a roofie.
Yes. I absolutely approve.
Yeah, we'll slip something in his drink.
In his ale.
Deal with the
yeah.
Well, what's your wisdom?
I have 10 wisdom, but I mean, listen, we're picked warriors. This is how we get our.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna let you do that. If you guys are gonna go that route, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So after we make the deal.
So that night, as he's drinking his ale and everything, and his last drink, you just slip that right on in there.
Yeah, exactly. So
well, I mean, the temple doesn't sell something like that, but from talking to people that the gnome shop is actually the potion shop. So he's the alchemist. And so if you go over there, if you go over to the gnome's place, then I'm sure there's going to be something like that.
Yeah, because I think we want to make a deal with the gnome. Because the Naked Pict has never flown before, and he's kind of fascinated by the idea of it.
Great. All right, so you guys rest at the inn?
Yeah.
Yeah. So morning comes, and everyone's completely exhausted. You rode all the way across to this island, far away, and you met the guy. You didn't sleep at all, and then you rode back and you wrestled and slew this gigantic octopus. So you're completely exhausted, and you have a very restful night. And in the morning, it's beautiful out there. It's a seashore town, and do you head over to the Gnomish Fish?
Yeah, I mean, I would want to go there. I'm not going to go by myself because I'm not nearly smart enough to talk to them.
Okay.
So I would try to enlist Arlen because I don't think our dwarven friend is going to be game.
Yeah. You slip it into his drink in the morning. That'd probably make more sense. He's having
Yes.
his morning drink, and all of a sudden he faith plants into his eggs and bacon.
So as you guys are having, a morning discussion, brief, exchanging morning greetings in the morning, Sir Tyrell walks over to you and says that. So you're saying that there's a gnome, and he accompanies you along with Arlen if you're all going over there. What's Tangler doing at this point?
They snoring.
Okay, still sleeping.
Yeah,
Great.
Arlen would definitely go there with Sir Tyrell and hope that his influence would help us.
Okay. Yeah, so everybody gets over to the alchemist's shop, and the gnome comes out and says, "Well, what can I do for you?"
Well, my friends and Lord, I call him Lord Tyrell. Lord Tyrell here. We would need your services to get us to a location. Haste. We need to get there quickly.
Yeah. Lord Tyrell mentioned something about flying. He says that, gnomish fellow, I'm told that you have a way that we could fly to the destination that we're headed. Is this true? And the gnomish fellow says, yes, sir. Where is that you're heading? But, the ship actually does need a little bit of work. One of the cogs are missing, but I should be able to find it easily. So basically, he looks around and asks you to wait about half a day or so, and it should be ready. At the same time, the gnome says, well, it takes a lot to operate this contraption. It's been years since I operated it. Would there be a compensation for this voyage?
Of course, your time and expenses will be covered.
And then he looks up at you and says, what do you say to about 1,000 gold? And he looks at Arlen and the rest of the group.
Arlen looks towards Lord Tyrell.
Lord Tyrell looks at you and trying to gauge whether if that's a fair price or not.
So, I mean, I just open up my bag, my little sack with gold in it. I hold it. I doubt there's 1,000 gold pieces in there, but I just hold it open for them to take whatever they need to.
Arlen, it's up to you.
Arlen will definitely give him the 50 gold that the captain gave him because Arlen doesn't keep money, so he gives him that 50 gold, and he looks towards everyone else, and he goes, "Well, Lord Tyrell, I don't know. I've never been on one of these contraptions before. I don't know if that's a fair price or not. But as you know, druids do not keep money. We donate ours to the temples and such. This is all that I have to give."
And he looks back at you and looks back at the Pict and says, well, I've never flown in these things before. I thought it was, I never flew before. I just thought that it was impossible for a man to fly except unless you're a powerful mage or if you have a flying Pegasus. and he looks at all the other members and looks back at the gnome. But he says, well, we don't have 1,000 gold on us right now. What would you say to 500? And the gnome just basically says, it's a deal. You realize that he was trying to get as much as possible, trying to gouge you when you're down and out. So yeah, he makes the deal and says, well, the ship, the flying gnomish fish, should be ready this afternoon. In the meanwhile, do look through my wares, and if there's any potion that you would like to purchase, go right ahead.
Is your ship able to fly during the night?
Well, of course, so long as there's warm weather and winds aren't that strong, it'll float and we'll be able to fly just fine.
We leave this evening in 1 hour before sundown.
You're impatient one. You're in a hurry to leave this town so early, right? And he looks at everybody, and Sir Tyrell nods and says, well, sooner the better. And he says, as you say, my friends. And he goes back to on doing the maintenance on the ship. So you see an assortment of all these different potions. I'm sure one of the potions would be a sleeping potion or something like that. You're able to pick it out, and he charges about 70 gold pieces, but you manage to get it by haggling.
Yeah, I just open up my pouch and he can take all the money that he wants.
Okay, he takes some, and you now have a. Did you say sleeping potion or?
Yeah, a sleeping potion. That's the politically correct way to say it.
Yep, you get it. So do you go back to the inn, or?
All of them will go out to the edge of town somewhere if there's a little copse of trees or something. Meditate and stay there in the nature for the rest of the day. We were supposed to meet.
Okay.
The naked pict is going back to drink with my wrestling buddy, so I can slip the roofie.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you all return to the inn, and it's still morning time. You can do this in the morning or during breakfast or lunch, whichever meal that you think is appropriate.
No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it shortly before we leave.
Fantastic.
Because I don't know how long it lasts.
Yeah.
We don't want him waking up in the middle of the play.
Excellent. So it'll be lunchtime. As you're having your lunch drink, you manage to slip some into his drinks. And Farum, if you're okay with that, then we're gonna role play it that way.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Okay. Yeah. So describe how you sneakily apply this potion as he consumes his lunch.
So I'm not very smart, but all I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to go to the bar where the drinks are, and I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to be like, and I'm going to say like, "This will make your drink extra strong," and I'll just put it into his drink, and then I'll just walk back and give it to him.
Far. Oh well, thank you. Oh yeah, I can't wait to have an extra strong drink, and he'll drink it. And he says, it didn't taste that much. Bam!
And Sir Tyrell and Arlen, do you help help everybody carry the dwarf back into the ship?
Well, if they come and got me while I'm meditating and needed my help, sure I would. But
all right, so let me know what you guys are doing right before you board the ship.
Yeah, I mean, I scoop up my dwarven buddy and then bring him to the ship and put him, on a nice couch or whatever. with a big keg of ale next to him, just in case he wakes up.
Nice.
And then I'll go get the druid.
Yeah. Arlen.
Yes.
Time to fly.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you talking to me. I'm sorry.
So Tangler and everybody gets over to the gnomish fish, and as you enter the shop, the gnome says, "Come this way." He opens a door and then points to one of the rooms. Suggests that you go into one of the rooms that were there, and as you do so, he closes the door behind you and walks up the stairs. And after a couple of incantations and pull of a few levers, the entire shop begins to rumble. And you see the roof open up, and the fish that you were looking at earlier begins to expand and become larger and larger and larger as hot air begins to fill the balloon. And with the background music going dun 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 dun, the whole airship begins to float off of the ground. Right. So gnomish fish slowly floats up and up and up into the air, and it reaches a certain altitude. You can see the farmlands. You can see the town of Herrings home growing smaller and smaller, and you see the airship begins to move above the Longmoor Woods, the place that you've traveled through before. Okay. So Gnome comes down from the helm and looks at you guys and says, "Well, how should I pace myself?"
I look at the sleeping dwarf and I say, "You fast."
Move fast. All right, will do. It turns over to Arlen. Arlen was the one that asked him whether if I can sail at night, right?
Yes, I believe, I conferred with Lord Tyrell to make sure, but I believe we need to arrive in the city before daylight. We definitely want to be on the ground.
All right, then. Well, it would take us not too long to reach the Castle Valinor. You guys tell them where you guys are going, right?
Oh, yeah, to this main city there, yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't take too long. It would take a quarter a day for us to get there, but it'll still be light by the time that we reach the Castle Valinor. Do you want me to delay until the nighttime?
Yes, as long as we reach the city by during the night hours, yes.
Great. So the gnome paces himself, and slowly the airship drifts. And it's wondrous. You've never experienced anything like this before, any of you. And the airs, you feel the wind blowing through your hair, and it's not too cold because you're not way above the clouds or anything, but it's still far off the ground. And it's nighttime, and yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to drink a Red Bull, and then I'm going to bungee jump off the side.
Woo! Yeah. Yeah, you can do that, definitely. You can do that. Naked, right?
Always naked.
Awesome. So you guys drift through, and it's nighttime, and you see the stars are up, and it's not an exceptionally bright night, but moonlight is bright enough that if you're going across certain clouds in certain direction, you may be spotted. But it's night sky after all, and the gnome steers his airship into the castle of Valinor. Do you have any particular directions that you want to give to the gnome? He looks at you and says, "Well, that's Castle Valinor. It's not too far away from here. You see that those flickering lights? That's the city."
Yeah, I would have him drop us, somewhere close to the castle, but not directly in front of it. I mean, somewhere, within a few blocks of it.
Okay. So the eastern edges or the northern part, any one of these portions, or do you land near the gates? Do you guys have that?
Is there a chance that maybe our dwarven friend comes out of his stupor?
Yeah, I mean, if you wake him up, I mean, I'm gonna say
I'm not
it's.
gonna wake him up if it's happened spontaneously.
Okay. Let's roll. Well, I'm gonna do a percentage roll, 50%, right? 70%. So yeah, he wakes up. You had Farum, who wakes up in middle of the sky.
Okay, yeah. So when he wakes up, he thinks he's still at the tavern for a second. I'm like, oh man, oh that must have been a stronger drink than I realized. Where the hell am I?
You feel like you're in the cabin of this a flying airship, and it's not too large. It's like a small room, but you feel as if you're you're on a boat or something. You feel the sway of the movement as wind blows the hull of the airship gently from side to side. There's a ladder leading up to the deck.
Where I'm at?
No windows, but you see a ladder going up to the deck.
All right, I just assume that I'm on a boat then, and whatever bed I'm on, I'm just going to lay back and relax till they come to get me.
Okay.
Are there any people around?
Yeah, it's just you. There's a small bed, and it's just you. You do hear voices coming from the deck, though.
Yeah, and I left.
Okay,
that
I'll drink from my keg of ale that was left for me, and I'm just assuming I'm getting the VIP treatment because I'm far rim. Everyone loves far rim.
All right, so the gnome listens to you and begins the descent. Let me know which direction from the castle that you want to land. You want to land near the gates? Are you landing on the northern side where the castle, the inner castle itself is a little bit closer to the outer walls? Or on the closer to the noble district, somewhere closer to the graveyard district in the east? Let me know which side you guys want to be.
Arlen would try to get the suggestion of Lord Tyrell, since probably he knows more about the city, since Arlen's not familiar with the city, and get his advice on where he would think would be best.
Well, I was thinking maybe we should approach the back of the castle. There's a moat in the castle. If we still are able to go across that moat, there's a passageway that's little known outside the royal family that we'll be able to access. And if everybody agrees, then Gnome actually lands the ship a couple miles away from the castle on the northern side. Good. Everyone's okay with that, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. If you said ask us something, I didn't hear it.
Yeah. So yeah, if everybody's okay, that's where you guys land. So from about a couple miles away, you approach the back or the northern portion of the Castle of Valinor. and you see the wall that's surrounding the outer layer of the castle. And the wall itself is about 30 feet tall from where you are. So it seems like you either have to go around to the gates or climb the wall.
Do you know of any secretive type entrances, Lord Tyrell, that we could?
Well, from the outer wall, there aren't any secret entrances that I know of. It seems like we might have to climb over the walls.
Arlen looks very perplexed at that idea.
Climb we shall.
Okay.
Depicts the, walks towards the wall and start to climb.
All right. So, yeah, make your climbing roll, please. If you have...
I don't know. It's like 50% or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That sounds reasonable. Here we go.
Whoever is actually well-versed in that would go. We're still assuming that Tig is with us, right?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, he shines in this moment. He climbs with ease, and he takes a rope around, and then he ties to the top of that wall, and allows the rest of the group to climb up. And with the help of one another, you make it across the outer wall with ease. The second concentric wall around the castle, the Lord Tyrell says, well, over here, there used to be a set of bushes that hides a small grating. When I was a child, I used to squeeze through it. I'm not so sure whether if I'll be able to do so now. And he leads you guys over there. And you see a couple of guards walking by. Roll under your stealth, if you have that.
I don't have anything.
Okay, just try to roll under your dex. Roll d20 and roll under your dex. Just one of you guys.
Okay. Well, I have a really high dex, so if I can roll that, would be good. Unless somebody has a higher dex.
Okay.
And I rolled a 3.
Okay. Yeah. You spot them, and you motion to the other guys to wait until they pass. They do so, and finally, as they leave, Lord Tyrell points the way to the old crumbling hole in the wall that's hidden by the bushes. And you approach. You see that there are some bars, grating that's blocking the path. It seems like if you're a child or a smaller humanoid creature, you should be able to squeeze through, but regular-sized human beings would have a difficult time squeezing through.
I ripped the bars out.
Okay, roll your bend bars.
I just did. That's why I said it like that.
Okay.
I it's good.
You grab these bars and yank it out of the wall, and it makes a little sound, but no one notices. You guys are allowed to cross into it. You crawl through the second wall, and now you're faced with a moat. It seems like it's about. Excuse me. It's about 20 yards across. The water looks pretty murky. Again, it's at night, and if you have a particular way that you want to cross the moat, then let me know.
I look towards Arlen or Farron. I have no answer there.
And that's the only way would be across that we would be able to go would be across this moat.
Yeah, but the castle itself is surrounded by this moat. There is some ledge that you'll be able to stand on once you go across the moat. And Lord Tyrell says there is a waterway that leads underneath the castle. It's a place that I used to sneak out of the castle when I was seeking adventure as a lad. And he leads you guys to a bank on the moat, and he points across the moat to a certain spot in the wall, and you see again, a small hole where it's barred by a few sets of bars, but this time, I mean, it looks pretty rusted, and you feel that you should be able to break through or do something similar to what you've done earlier if you were able to go across.
And the only option of trying to go across would be to swim, I guess. We don't.
Yeah.
What else is around here? I see a church. Are we near the church?
No, you guys are actually back of the castle. I mean, you see the
on the other side.
castle. Yeah, you guys are on the other side. So, one way is to swim or, throw a rope. I don't know. I mean, you guys can come up with creative ways to get around the castle, right?
Is there anything near us, like wagons or anything?
You don't see any wagons. So you could, yeah, you could go around and try to sneak in through the front gates, or I don't know, whatever that you guys want to use in order to go across that moat.
All right. Well, since I'm not very smart, and everybody here who's smarter than me doesn't seem to have any other thing to do, I'm just going to walk into the wall and try to walk through.
Into the water?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you swam through the Sea of Fallen Stars, so yeah, you just wade into the water, and it gets deeper and deeper. You feel your height is not sufficient to keep your head above the water without really swimming. If that's what you do, then you continue to proceed, and you go across the water. Okay.
Yeah, I swim across it, and assuming I don't get killed on the other side of it, I then wave to the rest.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I see Pick halfway across whatever, and he's making it okay, I would go ahead and start myself.
Okay. You see a silhouette of a couple soldiers up on the wall on top of that rampart over the spot that you're heading to, and they don't spot you. And the guards continue to do their own thing, and they move away from their post and continue to patrol the top of the wall. So, yeah, Naked Pit succeeds in going across, and sure enough, you see the bars. Do you roll your bend bars to see if you're able to move it? Yeah.
All right, let's see if I can pull these out. Ooh, okay. I missed it by 2.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a struggle. You might be able to get it done if you have some help from the other guys. You see Lord Tyrell is wearing full armor. And the I don't know what Tangler is wearing at this point. Is he wearing a leather armor, or is he wearing a metal armor?
I'm wearing my gladiator armor, which is just basically pieces of leather. Basically, I mean, there's nothing metal on me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so you make it across, and let's just say that everybody does make it across. We have Tig, who throws a rope across it, and he allows Naked to tie it to the bar, and then everybody uses that rope to basically haul themselves across the water. You make it into this passageway. It's damp, it's stinky, and it's crowded. It's very narrow. and you hear some rats squeaking as you make your way through this dark passageway. Okay. All right. As you continue to move, you feel you start to hear the sounds of footsteps echoing through the dark passageway. The sound seems to be echoing from the fact that people are walking over where you are. But you make your way, and eventually you see a dead end. And over you is a set of grating, again, metal grating. It seems to be about 10 foot above the floor. And the floor is all wet. You have a trail of various fluids, the stench of food and whatever that they're draining seems to be assaulting your senses. There are people going, walking by, and you're fairly certain that you are in the, under the kitchen, and the grating that you see is actually the drain where cooks dump their oil or various soup and all these fluid type of leftovers that they have from cooking. So there are folks nearby, and what do? Do you wait for the people to go by, or yeah? So the folks go by, and you again. Tig steps up and uses his rope and various creative ways to pull yourselves up, and now you find yourself in the kitchen of the Castle Valinor. There are two doors out of this particular room. One is in the southern door leading out to the south. Middle of this room, you have lots of pots and pans. Along the walls, you see a pantry full of these different spices and various ingredients. And it's empty at the moment. It's late at night, so it seems like everyone is probably asleep. It's dark, and it's difficult for you to navigate without having some sort of a light source.
Okay. There's only door to the south?
I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry to interrupt. There's just one door out of here to the south?
There's door to the south, door to the west.
Okay. I'm sorry, Tony. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm having trouble hearing you anyway, Daniel. Your volume's real low to me, and all the background noise. I'm having a hard time hearing you. But I would ask Lord Tyrell if would he know maybe the quickest way to go to get to his brother's chambers?
Yeah, he says that. Over. This is the kitchen of the castle. We'll be able to make our way through the banquet room, and from there we'll be able to make our way to the ballroom, and from there we'll take the stairs up, and eventually that's going to take us to the throne room. But I'm not so sure whether if it'll be left unguarded even at this hour.
Well, I believe that if anything needs to be handled that way, we'll have Pick to do that.
Right. So you guys make your way through the west door leading out west, and that sure enough leads into the banquet room. And in that room, you see a couple torches, and some of the dishes are left out on the table still. It's quite a sizable banquet room where a large table, about 20 feet long, 10 feet across, 10 feet wide, sits in the middle of the room. You see doors leading further to the west.
Okay. Which way does the paladin want to go? I mean, I don't think we should take any torches because it's not very discreet. So
Okay.
we're just following this guy.
Okay. As the paladin walks down the corridor, he's making an awful lot of noise, and the plates clang against each other, and you hear footsteps coming down from the west, which is the direction that you're heading. Through the cracks of the doors, the double doors, you see lights moving and footsteps approach.
I'm gonna try to ambush him.
Okay. Kill him?
No, I'm gonna knock him out if I can.
Okay.
We have Tangler with us too, so we can tangle.
All right. Do you try to say anything, or do you just simply attack him?
No, I'm just gonna knock him out. I'm not talking to anybody because I attacked him last time.
Okay.
There's more than one of them. Join them in doing that.
All right. The door opens and three guards walk through the door, and they don't see you. I'm assuming that you're hidden, and they walk towards the door on the other end, and they spot Sir Tyrell standing there, in his full regalia, and their eyes grow wide and says, "Who is that?" Make your attack roll, please. Daniel?
Okay, so I'm looking at my opponents for punching. So I'm at 18.
Okay.
It's AC -4.
Okay.
And
Yeah. If you're hitting -4, yeah, that's a definite hit. How do we find out whether if they get knocked out or not?
Yeah, I'm looking it up now. I just closed the page. That's what we're looking at. For the wrestling.
I'm sorry, what are we doing? I can barely hear anything. You're like that.
Is it hard for you to hear?
Very much so.
Yeah, I mean, like your kids are screaming really loud, and like no
I
offense.
can't hear Daniel at all on my end. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't hear me?
Your volume is real low. Been real low tonight, and with all the background noise, I have trouble hearing what you're saying. But go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm punching this guy, basically.
Yeah.
And I rolled a 18, which is, and I can adjust it. So I'm going to do a kidney punch. It does basically 6 points of damage.
Okay.
And there's a 5% chance that it'll knock him out. So I guess you could roll that.
Okay. 5% chance?
Yep.
And I roll 49.
Okay, so he doesn't get knocked out, but he takes 6 points. And my second attack, it's that only hits AC 5. If it hits
Okay. That does not hit.
Okay.
Okay. Are you also attacking?
So yeah, did I attack at the same time? That's what I was wondering. Okay, yeah. And so on my hand, I actually have a cestus. It's like the glove that has like spikes on it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so I add that to my attack is I think how it works.
Okay, go ahead. Make your attack roll.
All right, so I hit armor class -2. Actually, it's more than that because like
That's it.
Yeah. All right. If I get 3-2, that's 2 on the first, or is it 1 on the first and 2 on the second?
1 on the first, 2 on the second.
Okay. So, all right. So I hit him with that. Let's see. Isn't it damage and a 5% chance to knock out?
Okay, go ahead.
Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's 1d6 and then 5% chance to knock out. That's what Daniel said.
That's only because I got a rapid punch. She's doing a different thing. She's making a regular attack.
Okay.
I was using the punching table.
Well, it is the CS. I'm attacking with a cestus, which is supposed to be on my fist. I thought it was supposed to do like a punch, and then
in that case, you have to look at the punch table then. So what did you roll on your die roll?
I got a 16
total.
So I did a glancing blow.
Glancing blow, so it does 1 point.
So it does 1 point of damage. And then because of my cestus, it actually does an extra D4.
Nice.
Let's see. So roll one of these fancy D4 that I got from Tony. That's an extra 4 damage. So that's 5 damage, and there's a 2% chance that it'll kill him.
That it'll kill him?
Knock him out.
Yeah, he's okay. I rolled 32.
Okay. So he's not knocked out. Okay. Yeah. So that's my turn, I guess, because I can't do anything else this turn.
Okay. There were 3 guards. Lord Tyrell rushes him and tries to shoulder, check him. He doesn't want to kill the guard, but tries to attack him that way. And he actually passes right by him, trips up on himself, and you hear a large clatter as this massive pile of armored man falls on his face. And you hear more commotion from the room that's beyond. Okay. All right. The guards they react to you, and the first one that Daniel attacked, he retaliates, and he attacks you for AC 7.
Nope, misses.
Okay. And the other fella tries to attack you, Tangler, and hits AC 5.
He hits me.
Okay. He uses his sword. He thinks that you're some sort of an assassin or intruder, and hits you for 1 point of damage.
Ow.
And the other fella looks at you, Arlen, standing there, and says, "You!" And he attacks you also. And he hits AC 3.
Yep, I guess me.
Okay. Hits you for 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay. And that's the end of the round. Initiative, everybody? I rolled 9.
Like to pick.
Yeah, okay. Also rolling 9.
Okay. We're tied. We'll just roll again.
Okay.
I got 3.
2.
Okay, you guys go first.
Okay. Did these look like the same kind of guards that were like a real pain in the ass to fight last time? Or do they look like type guards?
These look like the sleepy type. They don't look like the well-trained elite guard under the command of Duke's Hand that you fought earlier.
The first ones.
Yeah. They don't look as well trained as the ones that you fought before.
Okay. In that case, I killed them because I can't be bothered with this shit. All right, so that first one is going to hit 13 plus 8 is 21. That hits negative some crazy number.
Yeah.
Second one's an 18 on the die, so that hits the regular man size, right? So I have to roll 2d4.
Okay.
So 4 plus 8 is 12. And an additional 11. So 23 points of damage.
Yeah, I mean, he takes one hit and he falls behind, and as he staggers, you finish him off with the secondary strike.
I just want to say that as soon as I do that, then I just start walking towards where we're going, because I just, at this point, like last time this was a big clusterfuck, and I don't want to be involved in that.
Yep. All right, so next one. Tangler, do you do anything?
Yeah, I'm going to attempt an or what kind of weapon is this guy wielding? A longsword, you said?
Just the typical longsword.
Okay, I'm going to attempt an expert disarm. I basically get a -8 to my attack roll, but if I manage to hit him, I can pretty much do with his weapon whatever I want.
Okay, AC 3.
Okay, so okay. All right, so that's a 10. My modifier for my strength. I hit AC. I hit AC 3. Perfect. Oh. So I basically can do with his. Attack with his sword what I want. That's what it says in 2E. Like I could choose to get it to like toss it to someone else or whatever. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this weapon myself, and with my second attack, I'm just gonna hit this guy with the longsword.
Okay.
With his own longsword.
Awesome. Okay, go ahead. Make your attack.
Okay. So let's see. With this, I hit armor class 0, so I hit him.
Okay. Yeah, these are basically mooks. So if you guys are going to kill him, then I'm going to say that you guys knock him down or kill him at this point. But as you do so, Tangler successfully removes them, kills them. And the one that's left over, he basically freezes in fear and stares at you guys and tells you, please, don't kill me. I'm just here. I'm just one of the squires.
Can I describe my kill?
What was it?
I was wondering if I could describe my kill.
Are you fixing to kill the last one?
No. Just the one that I was on. I wanted to describe my kill because that whole thing is so awesome.
Yep, go ahead.
So basically after I punch this guy in the face and he pulls his sword out and he just kind of like lunges at me and hits my arm or whatever. Tangler looks at him and says, "Oh, brother, you shouldn't have done that." And I charge at him with a furious Dwarven yell. I grab his arm and push up at the same time to bring his blade out of him, and then I push it straight up into his abdomen and just kind of drop him off to the side. And I just look at this other guy like, "Yeah, you want to try something?"
The guy who you just killed looks up at you and says, "Killed by the Tangler?" That's the last thing that you hear as the guy dies. All right.
I leave a signed portrait on his corpse.
Right. And the last guy basically begs you not to kill him because he's only a squire that's taking the night shift. So Arlen, what do you do?
Arlen looks at the squire and he puts his hand on his shoulder and he goes, "What is the matter with you, young man? Do you not recognize the true lord of this castle?" and he points towards where Tyrell is fallen, and I'm casting Charm Person on him.
Okay. And he fails. And he looks up at you, and his eyes basically gives you a blank stare for a brief moment, and he blinks a few times and says, "The true Lord," and looks at you, looks at Lord Tyrell on the floor and says, "Lord Tyrell, it is you!" And he rushes over and helps him up.
Yes, help your lord up and escort us immediately to the throne room.
Yep. And Tyrell stands up with the assistance of this young man, and as they he leads the rest of the party into the next room. And next room apparently is where the staircase is. You see 2 stairs leading up, but there are because there was a large commotion here, it seems like there's a whole lot of folks gathered there. You see about 15 folks gathered there at the moment. And they don't look like they're all guards. You see about 5 of them that look to be armed guards, but just butlers and various staff of the castle are gathered, and they all stare at you with a look of surprise and confusion. And as the young squire leads you in, they'll look at you and says, "Who are these folks?" And Lord Tyrell says, "I am Sir Tyrell, the bearer of Horrorbane. I'm here to speak with my brother, Duke Aemon." And the guards, they recognize you and says, "It's what the Duke's hand have been telling us about. It's them. It's the party. It's the folks that Father Xavier hired. They're the traitors." And they all point at you guys. And the 5 guards step up, and behind them walks up a woman. She has neatly groomed hair, and she has a red ribbon tying her hair into a ponytail. And you see this woman who doesn't seem like she's from Valinor. She seems like she's from Karator. And she walks up and says, "I was expecting you. I assume you know who I am." And you guys all look at each other and says, "Huh? Who's this?" "I am Lady Snowblood. And I am the last of Duke's hand. I am here to protect the Duke from the traitors like yourselves." And she waits a moment for you to reply to her. Anybody?
Yeah, the Pict is on the move, and he doesn't want to be bothered with these guards. But he sees this woman, and he's looks at her. She seems like she could be a worthy opponent. So he holds his blade out and says, "I'd hate to bloody your face, woman, but I will."
Okay.
Spoken like a true gladiator. You tell her, or I don't have to put up with your crap. We have other things to take care of.
Arlen is going to look at this lady as he's forming something in his hand that he's putting together and forming it into like a wax-looking ball. And he tosses up in the air and goes, "Shalou!" And I'm casting Produce Fire, and I'm going to set the lady on fire. We'll set a 12-foot square of common fire, and she's going to take 1d4 plus my level of damage.
Okay.
2, so it's 9 points of damage as this fire just engulfs up on top of her.
Yeah, she yells. She says, "Ah!"
And it'll set her clothing and all that on fire too, it says.
Okay.
Oh, should be naked.
Yeah, she screams. Yeah. All right. Let's. We didn't really. She was waiting for you guys to reply, so she really ate that initiative there. So you guys go ahead, attack her. It's still your turn.
Is she in our way?
Yeah, she's blocking you along with 5 guards.
Jeez. All right, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna. Fuck, I'm just gonna run her through. I was gonna do something fancy, but he's remembering earlier when I tried to do fancy stuff, and we ended up getting caught by too many of them. That's a negative 12 armor class, so I'm assuming that hits. And then that's only a armor class 2.
Okay.
Does armor class 2 hit or no?
You have AC 3, so yeah, it hits both of them.
This is sad, but it needs to be done. All right, let's see. First attack. Ooh, max damage. First attack is 16 points.
Okay.
And second attack is 5 plus 8, 13. So, what did I say? 16 and 13 is 29. Yeah.
Okay. Tangler, do you do anything? As you launch this massive attack on her, her look of confidence and arrogance gets wiped off in just a brief moment, and look of utter terror floods her face, and her expression is that of shock, confusion, and fear. Go ahead, Tangler.
So are the guards doing anything?
No, guards are haven't reacted yet. I gave you I gave you guys the initiative because she was waiting for you guys to respond or say something back. But best reply, I suppose, is done with is given through your steal.
Okay. Yeah, Darius is gonna. Darius. What the fuck? Farum is going to pull his Drusus, his short sword, his gladiatorial short sword, and he will. So he'll go and he'll attack one of the guards with it, I guess. Whatever.
Oh, okay, one of the guards? Okay, not the woman? Okay.
The woman's on fire, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
I thought, is there fire not surrounding her?
It's not like all over the place. Her clothes are on fire.
Oh, it's just her that's on fire.
Yeah.
It's in a 12-foot square is what it's in, but it's fixed. But it's fixed.
Okay.
You wouldn't know this. Never mind. It's in a 12-foot square.
Okay.
You would know that just by seeing it, but you wouldn't know what else I was going to say.
Okay, so
do it then, because I may have taken damage because I went right up to her. That's flames currently there, Tony, or is it instantaneous like a fire?
Yeah, it's still burning right now. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so then I probably take damage. What was the damage? Because I ran into it.
2 plus 7, 9.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it continue on each round?
Well, it's fixing to end, but Tangler wouldn't know that.
Okay. Well, let me see. All right, yeah, I don't know that. Let me ask: is my +2 net that it's a magical net +2? Would it be like fire resistant? I mean,
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna pull up my Drusus, and Tangler's just gonna say to the guards, he's gonna say, "You think that you're so big and bad because you have a job defending the king." But let me tell you something, brothers, that don't mean a damn thing. Because my name is Farim. It means sorrow. And if you attack me, your corpse will cry from the afterlife. And yeah, I'm going to try basically intimidating the guards into leaving us alone.
Okay. Two of the guards, their facial expression, they just turn, completely white, and they look at you and say, "Oh my God, what are we up against?" And they all look at the woman that's on fire, who's taken this massive assault from you guys. And all right, we go to the next round, and this round we're gonna do a regular initiative. I rolled 8.
All right.
You didn't get me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, quickly, is the lady sitting there and this flame is around her in the area and also got picked? Lord Tyrell sitting there next to us, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to walk up to him and grab his arm, and I'm going to say, "You know how to get to the throne room. Get ready." And as soon as I grab his arm, I'm going to look towards this lady that's on fire, and the flames are starting to extinguish. And as soon as they do, I'm going to throw my arm out towards, as something goes towards this fire, and you see smoke just start filling the area, and it just starts boiling off this fire, and the fire just goes out completely, but smoke just keeps boiling and boiling as I'm actually casting pyrotechnics. And I'm using the second deal where it's going to cause a thick stream of smoke to just continue to rise from the source, and it's choking everybody. You can only see for 2-foot vision. But what I want to do is yell at your Lord Tyrell and say, "Let's go." And I'm going to hopefully get him to lead me to the throne room.
Yeah. So he starts running, and he follows his memory and runs up the staircase or the grand stairs. He runs up and he approaches the door to the throne room.
Yeah, because I know at this point that there's nothing I can do with heavily armed people, so I know that the dwarf and Pict have that under control. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Great, fantastic. Yeah, so you guys, both of you, managed to make it right outside the throne room. And the following round is interesting because you hear this pitiful wailing of a woman, basically a death cry. She says, "Ah!" as the damage from the fire finished her off. And you guys are standing behind a smoldering corpse of this woman, Lady Snowblood. And 5 guards, they're all staring at you, but they all cough. And they're under complete confusion because of all the smoke that's filling the air.
Yeah, and everybody so would be Pict and the dwarf. They're going to be confined to that 2-foot vision, I guess, the way I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. So I don't know that they left or really what's up, because I only know that she died in front of me. And since I have blind fighting, I'm going to continue to fight and hack these guys to pieces if they don't leave. I'm
Okay.
just gonna stay where I am and just keep fighting.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the 2 guys that heard Faram's speech, they flee to the opposite direction, leaving you guys with 3 guards that are still standing about, but they're completely confused too, and they're not really sure whether if they should really press on the attack. One of them does attack you, however. Did we roll initiative for that?
Nope.
No, this should be going into it.
Okay. Initiative 1.
I rolled a 1 as well.
Okay, let's do it again. 9.
1 again.
Wow.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I guess Farum will go first.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So I have my. Sorry, Mom. I have my Drusus in my hand, and my Cestus on my other hand. So yeah, I'll just run up. Let's see. Are there like? Yeah, I'll tell you what. All right, so I'm gonna run up with my 2 attacks. With the first attack on the guard that I attack, I'm gonna use my cestus for my or like, and I'm gonna attempt a regular disarm.
Okay.
He has just a longsword, right?
Yep.
Okay, so
it's -8 attack again, right?
no, it's a -4 because I'm doing a regular disarm, not an expert disarm.
Well,
So
okay.
it's a
The smoke, we're blinded. It's -4 as well for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it?
Yep.
That's not, am I? So I am blinded by the smoke right now?
Yeah.
You can only see 2 feet. You're in the middle of all this smoke, Gunner.
Okay. All right. All right. Fuck it. That'll be fine. This will be one of my attacks. I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can disarm them. Oh, nice. I rolled an 18 again, so I know that for sure that hits armor class 3.
Okay. All right.
So I do a regular disarm. So I roll 2d6, and the number rolled is the number of feet the weapon flies. I then roll 1d6, and that determines which way the weapon flies. All right.
Okay.
So tell you what, I'll just roll 3d6. I'll roll 2 white and 1 red. All right. So the weapon flies 11 feet ahead to the left.
Great. You hear a clanging noise as the weapon flies out and lands on the floor. You hear a panicked voice of the guard as it says, "Oh my God!"
Right. And with my second attack, as he says, "Oh my God," I'm going to attempt to bring my Durius into his abdomen. Let's see, and I roll. That's a -4, right?
Yep.
Actually, I may miss this time. Let's see.
Yep.
Yeah, I missed this time. I only hit armor class like 9 or 10 or something.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, without his sword, the warrior panics and scurries off in the direction that's further away from you. Only remaining guard is on naked picked.
Okay.
And he rolls natural 20, so that's a hit.
Well, I haven't gone yet, and we got initiative. So.
Oh, yeah. What am I talking about?
And
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure he's dead, though, unless he has more than 26 points of hit points. I already rolled on my attack.
Yeah, he's got 20 hit points, so he's a goner. Yep. So you guys dispatch all these guards, night guards that are in that floor, and rest of the folks that just witnessed the battle and suffering from all that smoke, they leave the room and they run away in fear. So you guys managed to catch up to Arlen, and Arlen, before they...
I'm going to bend down to the Lady Snowblood and take the from her hair, and I'll wrap it around my arm and kiss her gently.
Okay, you're just cutting off her hair, right? Okay, not the head.
Yeah, Arlen and Tyrell is their main goal is to get in there and destroy that mirror while all this is going on. Right.
So you guys are up at the top of the staircase, right before the throne room, and Tyrell pushes the door open. And in the throne room, it's at night, and they're not holding court or anything, so it's empty. But he motions you to follow, and you guys walk down. You want to run down or walk down?
Yeah, I'm getting there as fast as I can.
Okay, you guys rush in there, and Tyrell motions you to follow him. And on the northern side, towards the north of that throne room, onto the behind the throne, actually, there's a door leading to a chamber. You pass the throne, looks very nice, but he enters, and you are in a hallway, and another guard, stands before you. And roll initiative for me, please.
All right. 7.
Okay. 6 this time. So, looking at Lord Tyrell, the guard immediately recognizes the intruder and attacks, misses horribly. And Tyrell pulls out his sword, actually, and says, I am Lord Sir Tyrell of High Gods, and I have brought my blade, Horrorbane, here to do the duty of the gods. Stand aside if you value your life. And, he stands his ground. It's the guard, final guard, that guards the chamber to the Duke, so he's not going to move easily. So Tyrell attacks, and he swings with the blade, and the blade misses. Okay.
Yeah, Arlen's going to just straight seeing Tyrell doing what he's doing. He's going to try to straight drive into the guy with his spear. And that's going to hit armor class 1.
Okay. That's a hit.
4 points with the spear.
Okay. That does damage, 4 points. All right. Next round. Initiative, I rolled 2.
Okay. 6.
Okay. So he goes first. This time he's going to have 2 attacks. He rolls 1, misses wildly. And the second one, he hits armor class 2. And that hits Tyrell. And he does 8 points of damage on Tyrell. He goes, oof. And he's going to attack one more time. Actually, he missed 1 and hit 1. Yep, so that's his turn. Right? And Tyrell responds. He misses. And he hits. And he strikes him for 8 points of damage on the guy. Good. All right, and it's your turn.
I'm going to spear him again, hopefully. Armor class 4.
That's a miss.
All right.
Okay. By this time, I'm going to say that the rest of you guys have caught up, and the battle is in visual range. You're able to see that Lord Tyrell is in heated battle with this guard. He looks pretty big, though. Okay.
I mean, is there enough space for us to approach, or?
In next round, you guys can join in the battle. Okay. Initiative. I rolled 8. It's yours.
4.
Okay, you go first. I'm gonna have Tyrell attacking. Okay, that's a hit. That's a miss. Yikes. Ooh. 13. All right. Your turn.
Yeah, I missed with the spear, but I would have had max damage, but I missed because I hit armor class 9.
Okay. All right, and initiative, and everybody could join in. I rolled 7.
4 again.
Yes.
Okay, you guys go first. This guard, although he fought valiantly, he doesn't look too good. He's bleeding. All right, you guys go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I hear them running up behind me, but I don't wait. Arlen just still tries to help Tyrell take this guy down. Oh, gosh. I rolled a 3, so I miss.
Okay, you guys want to do anything?
Is the hallway wide enough for us to get up there?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Did you want to go first, Tango? No. All right, so I will. All right, I run up with my sword out and my, everything else I have in full view. I'm throwing both my 20s at once. All right, an 11 and an 18. So the 11 is going to be armor 3 plus -3 armor class, and the 18 definitely hits, I'm sure.
Yep, both of them hit.
Okay. Let's see. So 7 plus 8 is 15 on the first attack. And same thing. So 30 points.
Yeah, describe your kill.
So I run up, I see this like heavily armored paladin swinging around this sword, and I'm kind of a short, stocky, naked guy. So I just run up with my broadsword and just stab it directly into the guard's gut. And then the second attack, I don't even actually pull it out. I just push it in all the ways to the hilt.
Oh, nice.
And I pull it out, and I say, "After you."
And as he falls, the final guard yells out, "Duke, aim on!" And then he falls and clatters of his armor rings across the hallway. And you are standing over the corpse. You see that the pathway is clear, and Tyrell doesn't really waste any time. He marches towards the chamber of the Duke.
Yeah, I'm right behind him.
Okay. Yeah, the party and Lord Tyrell approaches. He opens the door, and there you see a man in his pajamas, clutching a crystal mirror by the armor on the far side of the room, and he looks fearful. And he spots Tyrell and says, "Tyrell, it is you." And he looks at the other guys and says, "So you are the traitor. You were sent to kill me. But how is it that I could not see it?" And he spots the talisman of shadow that Xavier has given. I think he gave it to you, Naked, right? Was it Farin or Naked?
No, I think yeah, I think Farin had it.
Okay. And he recognizes that and says, "So that is the reason why I could not see." And he clutches it and says, "Don't come any closer. Don't come any closer." And the man is just shaking with fear.
Farm's going to throw his net on him.
Okay. Go ahead.
Cool. So
Let's roll for initiative because he knows that you're about to attack.
Okay.
Okay. I got 4. Okay, you go first.
All right. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna attempt to entangle him with my net.
Okay.
Entangle him with my net. I'm so funny. All right. Yeah, I hit like armor class -2.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely get him.
Okay. So he's now entangled in my net. Let me think. Let me see. So 10. Whenever you close your knee, blah blah. Like coach, blah blah. All right. The victim gets one chance to struggle using a strength roll, exactly as described in the grab maneuver above. So in the grab maneuver, all right. So compare the number you rolled to your strength ability. Let's see. In the same round that you perform the grab, roll a d20. Your opponent will do the same. Compare the number you rolled to your strength ability score. Whichever one of you rolled better against his strength score won the tug of war contest. For purposes of the grab, all 18 scores are just 18. However, in case of a tie, the higher percentile 18 beats the lower percentile. For example, barbarian, blah, blah, blah.
Let's roll. His strength is 12. I'm going to roll d20 right now, and he rolls 8.
Okay.
Nice.
So, all right.
You beat it by 4.
Yeah. So I rolled a 17. So I rolled exactly on my strength, which means that I have like a score of 0, which means that I got it perfect. No, wait. Yeah.
No, the opposite.
No. I made it by 4, and you made it by 0. So
yeah. You're right. Yeah.
yep. He successfully pulls the web out of the way, but he doesn't have any weapons or anything. But yeah, you guys are free to act also.
He's got the mirror in his hand, right?
Yeah, he's got the mirror in his hand.
All right. I'm just gonna walk up and say, "Give me the mirror. It is a cursed demon artifact and must be destroyed, lest the world come to an end." And then I look kind of strange because I don't know what I just said because I have 3 intelligence.
Okay. He has that mirror. You don't attack him or anything, right?
No, I just stick my hand out and I
Okay.
tell him to give it to me.
All right. Arlen, do you do anything?
No, not right now. With Pick being that close, no, I'm not doing anything.
Okay. Tyrell, has his Horrorbane out and says, "Listen to the little naked pict. Amon, I'm not here to harm you. I'm just here to free you from whatever the influence that this mirror has upon you." And Amon looks at the rest of you guys. But the expression that he wears is that of fear, confusion, but at the same time, there's something else. And he utters the word Norisha, Barabbas, and all of a sudden, the crystal mirror drops from his hand, and Duke Amon falls to his knees, and he's looking at you guys. And from the mirror, you see a very strange purplish smoke rise from it. And it slowly fills the air as a shadowy form occupies one corner of the room. And slowly emerging out of this purplish smoke are 2 clawed hands, red in color, emerging out, extending forward. And you hear a voice says, "Well, it feels like we finally meet again." And the blade, Horrorbane, on the hands of Lord Tyrell begins to faintly glow in warm yellowish radiance.
Did the mirror?
Okay. The mirror did not break.
Okay. When it's my turn again, I'm gonna smash it.
Okay. All right. So it's you guys went, so I'm gonna treat that as my turn. Everybody, roll versus spell.
Failed.
Who failed?
I did.
Okay. Anyone else?
The first one we needed to pass.
Bad fail for me.
Okay. And Daniel, did you pass?
Yep.
Okay. Passed. Okay. Arlen, you feel a sudden, as this otherworldly creature stand before you, you're filled with utter dread, and you can't help yourself but to move away from it as quickly as possible. You're incapacitated by fear, and you don't know what to do for a little while.
Okay.
All right. Let's see, and that's just an automatic effect. The hand reaches out and swipes at you, picked.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, what is that? That's negative -4. Yeah. All right. And you take You take 6 points of damage. You roll a save versus poison.
8. That is failed.
Okay. All right. 5 additional points of damage on you.
Ouch.
Okay. And you're currently poisoned. You'll take 1d6 damage for 3 extra rounds.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Okay. And that was the first attack. The second one goes against you, Farm, the Tangler, and 7, armor class 0. Tangler?
He misses.
That hits, right?
He
Armor class
misses.
0? Okay.
Yeah, he misses. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He hits.
Yep. Okay. 1d6.
And I'll take 1 point of damage.
No. You take 7 points of damage.
This has been going.
What's that?
Ow. Okay. I said
7
it's been going like I've been getting hit and I take like 1 point.
Yeah, you take 7 points of damage this time. And roll your save versus poison.
Okay. Reversed is poison. God, let me enlarge this text. Okay. There it is. I made it.
Okay. So you don't take any additional damage. And finally, he swipes at, a gigantic spear-like tail comes out and swipes at Tyrell. And that actually wildly misses. All right, next round.
Initiative, I guess.
Yep.
Crystal. Yep.
I got 5.
Okay. Sorry. Let me. 8.
8. Oh, actually, I didn't roll for Tyrell for the previous round. He's going to rush in at the demon and swing at it. 12, that's a hit. And does 2 points of damage plus. Okay, 7 points of damage. Great. All right. So next round, the demon goes again and attacks Picked. AC 3.
That hits.
Okay. 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Roll for your save versus poison.
Missed.
Okay. You take 4 points of damage from that poison. For the previous round poison, you take 6 points of damage. So that's 10.
Ouch. Still alive, but barely.
All right. And next attack comes, and the demon swings at you, Farm. And does 20 natural 20, so that's a hit. 4 points of damage. Roll your save versus poison.
Crystal.
Crystal?
Oh, I'm sorry. How much damage did I take?
I think I just said 4, right?
Okay.
And roll your save.
And roll my save. And this time I may have failed. I don't think. Let me think. Let me see. As a dwarf, I don't know if I don't get any special versus poison, right?
No.
Okay. So yeah. So I failed this time.
Okay, you take 4 points of damage.
All right.
Okay. All right, and the demon attacks Tyrell and actually misses. All right. Roll save versus fear for Arlen to see if you
Okay.
get out of it.
That is that spell?
Yeah, save versus spell.
Wow, failed again. 8 out of 12.
Okay, you're still, in a state of shock. You've placed a considerable distance away from this demon, and you're kind of huddling in the corner.
Yeah, he's just standing there in the corner, and all he's envisioning is this beautiful forest and the sounds of the forest, and he's just completely in another world as he's standing there.
Okay. All right, so it's your turn. Go ahead and attack the demon. Go with Daniel's picked.
All right, so I'm going to pick up like I said, I was going to break the mirror. I'm going to pick the mirror up, and I'm going to say, return to your foul pit, and I'm going to hit it with the mirror.
Okay.
Hopefully. 19 on the dice, that should hit. I don't know what damage a mirror does, but I'm assuming it breaks the mirror, although I don't know that for sure. You tell me. And what damage a mirror does. I mean, I'm plus 8, so it does at least 8 points. Oh, no, that's with my magic sword. I'm plus 6, so it does 6 points at least.
Okay.
Plus whatever a mirror might do. 1 point for the mirror, maybe. So it's maybe 7 points. I don't know if that affects it in any way, that I broke the mirror and hit it with it.
The total damage that you've done is how much?
7.
7?
Yeah, only 7 with the mirror. But I hit it with the mirror.
Okay, you do 2 points of damage on that mirror, and you nick it, but the mirror is still. It looks to be in fairly good shape.
Oh, interesting. I hit him again. All right.
You have
that one's. Well, I have 2 attacks, so I hit him again with the mirror. Then I forego my sword and I hit it again with the mirror.
Oh wait! Are you like striking at the mirror, or are you grabbing the mirror and?
No, I grab the mirror and I'm hitting the demon with it. I said, "Go back to your realm," and I hit the demon with the mirror.
Okay. Well, actually, it doesn't really do anything in that case.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a mundane mirror after all. Let's see. I'm gonna say it did 2 points of damage on the demon. So
okay. Well, my strength bonus is 6. So
yeah, I mean there's some sort of a strange magic that's protecting the mirror, and it's not really effective as a weapon. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So with my other attack, I'll use my sword then.
Okay.
And that's hitting -4 armor class.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, and I guess the demon's bigger than man size, right? So I just do 6.
Yeah, it's AC 2, by the way, so that's what we're aiming for.
So that's I wasn't adding that +1. So plus so that's 7. Yeah, no, I raised something. 7 plus 8 is 15 with the magic sword.
Good.
Yep.
All right, it does look hurt, and no. Excuse me. Okay, go ahead. So that was your damage. All right, Tangler's turn.
All right. So I'm just gonna rush in, I guess, and hit this thing with my Druis twice. Is it a large creature?
Yeah, it's a large creature.
Okay, cool. So I do 1d8. Okay, so I'll go ahead and attack number 1 hits armor class
-2.
something like that. Armor class, yep, -2. No, -3 actually.
Okay.
Just go ahead and roll the damage for that first.
Okay.
Okay. And that does 8 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the creature is hurt. You can see that it's your attacks are actually
Or
affecting
9
it.
points of damage, actually. 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay. And then the second attack with my Drusus, I hit armor class 1.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Okay.
All right. And Tyrell attacks. And yeah, that's a wild miss also. I think I haven't been doing the second attack for Tyrell, so again, another miss. All right. Let's roll your save versus a spell. Did we just do that for Arlen?
Yeah, I did it at the beginning of this round, so
Okay.
we'll do it at the beginning. I guess the next one.
Yep. All right. So you guys went, and I forget. I went first, and then you guys went. All right. It's the next round. Let's do initiative once more. I got 9 this time.
Crystal.
I rolled it. I got a 2.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, my mom was asking me something.
And my save, oh man, I'm not made to make this. A 6 this time. 6 out of 12. Wow.
I already rolled my attacks and I hit twice, 26 points of damage with the magic sword.
Wait. Before that, let's take your poison damage and see where that is right now.
The poison damage is on my turn or on his turn? Because you did it on his turn last time.
Okay, let's do it on his turn.
I just want to have to do it twice, so this is the one for this round. So go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Okay, roll. I don't know what it is. It shouldn't be enough to kill me.
Yeah.
I have 112 hit points.
Okay. You got 12 hit points, did you say?
No, I have more than 12, and that's it's 2d6, so I can't die. So, but
okay. Gotcha. All right. So the next round, your poison roll, actually, you only have to do 1 poison roll if he doesn't hit you this round. Tangler, could you also roll for your poison damage?
Roll. What am I doing? Am I doing a saving throw?
What are we rolling? You're supposed to roll damage, right?
Yeah. Excuse me.
Okay.
1d6. 5 for Tangler. I'm gonna get off a picked 1 and 1. You take 2 points of damage. Take it.
Okay. Thank you. I'm just confused.
Tangler took 5. You said.
Yeah. You take 5 points of damage. Good.
Okay.
All
then
right.
I do 26 points of damage.
Okay, 26. Yeah, you see a dark reddish blood rushing out from the arms, and this gigantic creature. As the smoke basically fades away, you can see that this is a goat-legged creature with large horns and a goatee. It looks like it reminds you of a goat, but it's got a very sharp claws sticking out, and it also has a very sharp looking tail that it flips around. Each time it strikes, you feel a certain dread wash over you, but you do see that each of your attacks are actually doing it some harm, so you're encouraged by that. Did you roll your attacks, Tangler? Crystal?
I only get 1 attack this turn. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I guess attack him with my Drusus again. That 1.
Natural 1. Yeah, that's a wild miss, and I'm gonna have Tyrell attack. It's a miss also. That's just pitiful. All right, and the creature attacks you, naked, and whew, that's a natural 1. So thank God for that. Tangler. Incredible. Another natural 1. And I have AC 1, strikes AC 1 for Tyrell, so he takes it this time. And he takes 8 points of damage. He makes his save, so yeah, 8 points of damage. He's still standing. All right, and we go to the next round. Did you roll your save versus spell this round, Arlen?
Yep, I failed. So I'm getting ready to do it again now.
Okay. Next round, initiative. I roll 4.
Crystal, are you still doing it, or are you just already doing it now?
Yeah, I'll do it. It doesn't matter to me. I rolled an 8. Tony, you can do it next time.
Okay. All right. Here we go. For picked, he rolls AC. What is that? AC -5.
That definitely hits you.
Yeah.
I'm naked after all.
Yep. You take 2 points of damage.
I failed my save as well.
All right.
Save.
You take 1 point of poison damage. Okay.
Still up barely.
Okay. By the way, you have your healing potion too, correct?
I do, but I'm in a berserker rage, and I have a 3 intelligence, so I'm not going to stop to drink a healing potion.
Good, good. Let's see. You guys shoot for him. 17. Yeah, that's -10.
Oh God.
Good Lord.
Okay. And let's see where you are. 7. Did you take 7 points of damage and roll your save, please?
Tangler?
Yeah, Tangler.
Yeah, I made my save.
Okay, good. Thank God. All right, and Tyrell. And Tyrell hits. And he does 5 points of damage. And at this point, the demon screams out. He goes, "Arrgh!" and it's cursing in a tongue that you're not familiar with. Arlen, did you make your save this time?
Arlen is sitting under a tree while the brook in the stream flows by, watching his fishing poles. I rolled a 2 this time.
Oh, God.
I'm cursed. I mean, that's it. That's the end of Arlen.
Okay. All right. So we go to the next round. Initiative for everybody. I rolled 8.
4.
Great. Go ahead, guys.
Okay. Well, I already rolled mine. Well, you can do the damage first if you want to do it that way to make sure I'm not dead, but I already rolled mine, and it's 2 hits with 19 points of damage.
Okay.
But if you want to get poison damage first, just to make sure I'm not dead.
And the AC is you hit -2 AC, right?
I'm aiming for, right? Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So how many points of damage did you do?
19.
19 points of.
Yep.
Great. You see the demon, lurching forward to a strike at you, and describe how you incapacitate it.
So at this point, I don't, the naked pict is in a battle rage, covered in ichor and blood, and he's just swinging his sword in an arc back and forth, just not even really thinking. So he's not really sure what happened, but he's glad if the thing moves back.
Okay, 2 of his, as he continues to attack in berserker range, he lands a substantial blow to this demon, and strangely, the blow that should have killed it does not kill it. the demon is still alive, breathing heavily, and down on the ground. He's glaring at the rest of you, but he's not dead. And points at Tyrell and says, "Curse you, you Horrorbane! Curse you, Horrorbane!" And the blade Horrorbane begins to shine brighter and brighter in the warm yellowish hue. And taking that as a cue, the bearer of the Horrorbane walks up and drives the blade straight into the neck of the demon. And finally, from that point on, you hear a cracking noise as the crystal mirror begins to shatter. And as the wielder of Horrorbane pulls the blade back out, you see that the blood of the demon is spurting out, and it's slowly being sucked into the sword itself. And slowly but surely, the form of the demon begins to dissolve, and its the shape it is entirely absorbed into the sword. And with a blinding flash, the sword is pristine again. Looks like how it had been before, without that glow. And only thing that's left in the room is a broken crystal mirror. Amon, after this ordeal, stands up and shakes his head and says, What just happened? What's been going on? It feels like I've been dreaming for the past 2 years. 3 years. I don't know how much time has gone by. And he looks at Tyrell and says, "Brother." And he extends his arm. And describe to me how you guys respond to this scene.
When a demon dies, Arlen will snap out of his trance, or?
Yeah, I mean, a couple minutes pass, and Arlen, as the form of the demon finally dissolves into nothingness, Arlen comes to, and he realizes that he's in one corner of the room. And go ahead.
He looks towards the dwarf, and he just goes, "We must go fishing soon."
So I had, I think, 2 more rounds of damage to take from this poison. So do you want to roll that to see if I die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, roll 1d6. I'm gonna roll 1d6 to see. You take 2 points of damage this round, but if that doesn't kill you, then others are gonna come rushing by and giving you healing potions and stuff to keep you alive.
Okay, that's fine. Then it doesn't kill me. It brings you down to 8 hit points. So
okay, good. Yeah, the other guys utilize their healing potions and what healing arts that they have, and keep you alive. So yeah, that's basically the end of the demon that's been plaguing this this country, this this duchy of Valinor. Excuse me. For all this time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. We go fishing.
Yep. Any words from the Tangler after this?
Wow.
The Tangler. No, actually, I can't think of anything, to be honest.
So I would like to say that since we slaughtered their castle guards, pretty much, I can be brought on to train them to fight better with no armor. Because
great.
Naked Man killed most of their guards.
Okay.
Arlen goes back to his forest and sits on the bank and fishes every day, and all he can think of is seeing the dwarf throw a net on the deal in the sea, and that's all he can think of. And he said, I've got to learn how to do that. That was a very good move, and it will help me with the fishing pole too.
Yeah, he wouldn't mind training you to use a net. But this demon, once it dies, does it disappear or anything, or is the body still there?
So it has disintegrated, basically. And as you all stand in the room, and you know, as your question, and time goes by, and later on, you know, you talk to Sir Tyrell and the rest of the folks, they explain to you that the history of the sword is that Horrorbane was actually forged with a power to slay the demon, and its special power is that should it strike just right, it's actually, if it hits, and with every hit, if it does maximum damage, then it utterly banishes the demon back to its prime, you know, its original, its plane of its origin.
Okay. So it disappeared. Yeah. Like, is there anything left behind of the demon? Like any blood or anything like that?
The demon itself is gone. You know, it's utterly destroyed from this particular plane and utterly obliterated. Only thing that it left over is a shattered crystal mirror that it's been
I'll take that as my trophy.
Using to. Yeah. So
you can take that. So Faerun takes that as his trophy for defeating this demon, and he returns back to his gladiatorial stand where his Kraken trophy waits on him, and he will add these to his trophy room, which is littered with, the walls are just littered with all of these different, just, you know, things. You know, he could just tell you all these stories about each item.
Yeah. So the epilogue, if you would allow me, is that the brother, Sir Tyrell, goes back to the Lonesome Cove to keep his vigil, and as the bearer of that sword, the Duke, you know, with the destruction of the demon, the blight that's been affecting the land and making the crops die, that disappears. And because Farum has taken that shattered artifact, no one is tempted to actually try to mend it together and use its scrying power for their own purpose. So you know, that may be a story for another day, but for now, you know, everything's all good. Duke Aemon continues to rule for a number of years, picked because he's been training the castle guards. They definitely improve in their skill, and they have their metals tested regularly. They became a little bit more competent in fighting without any weapons, and some of them have adopted to less wear armor, opting to fight naked sometimes. Tangler, after going back with this trophy, has received a challenge from a neophyte who calls himself the Mangler, styled after the bombastic hollering and method of wrestling that you use. This copycat wrestler has, gladiator has challenged the original, and we'll find out how that, however way that you want to wrap that up in your mind. That's all good. And Tony, your character Arlen is completely satisfied knowing that the blight that's been killing off all the plants in the nearby area for the past few years has passed, and you feel good knowing that you've made a difference in bringing the land back to its natural state. Yep. All right, that's it, guys. And thank you so much for playing this lengthy game, Horrorbane. and I'll see you next time.
Thanks, John.